Hey everybody, it's Mitch Broderick here with Platform. We're going to get started. I just want to let you know you're in the right place for the High Hanging Fruit webinar. We're going to wait. We're just going to wait about 30 more seconds and let some other people join us, and we're going to get started. All right. Welcome everybody to the High Hanging Fruit webinar. This is Mitch Broderick. I'm the one that you have been receiving emails and text messages from. So thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started right away. First, I just want to kind of introduce myself. I've had a career in marketing and a career in real estate, so I know as a former realtor, I've been licensed for 6 years. I've done all sorts of different marketing campaigns from Zillow to farming, etc. And I went into a marketing career after that, after real estate, and really honed my skills there. And ultimately, I actually was a Platform client working with Tim, who wrote the book that we're talking about today, High Hanging Fruit. And it is the absolute best estate marketing strategy. It's something that, the same type of strategy that I've used with companies far and beyond real estate, and it just works really well with real estate. Introduce Tim Chermak, who wrote the book High Hanging Fruit, and we'll tell you exactly how to get that during the webinar today. Again, this is the best real estate marketing strategy out there. We're going to tell you exactly how we generate hundreds of leads for our clients using this High Hanging Fruit methodology every single month. In fact, we did the same webinar last month, and we only do 1 or 2 webinars every single month. It's totally a live webinar. It's October 12th, 1:30 Eastern time. I hope it's October 12th. So anyway, we did the same webinar last month, and we have 3 or 4 of our clients who signed up with us and implemented this system, who have generated hundreds of leads and have dozens of actual conversations and have actual contracts. There's there's Angela, there's Justin Liller, who, as a result of working with Platform, is on track to have a record year with 30 plus transactions this year in a luxury market. And so there's just a ton of stories, and Tim will speak to you about those as well. But I want to introduce Tim Chermak. He is the author of High Hanging Fruit, and the whole strategy is sort of his brainchild. And he's going to walk you through, exactly what we do, why this strategy works so well. So welcome, Tim.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Mitch. As Mitch said, we do these webinars typically every month, and the one we did last month, it was right around Labor Day, I think. And we had a couple realtors who actually, after the webinar, they got excited and they actually implemented this High Hanging Fruit marketing strategy, in their market. So this is basically just a month ago, right? And in the last month, they're getting, dozens and dozens of conversations. They actually have showings they've already gone on. And a couple of them actually already have contracts. Like, they've had clients write contracts from leads they generated using the strategy they learned on this exact webinar less than a month ago. They already have clients with contracts. So that's just incredible to me. That's how powerful the strategy is. I don't know if you guys saw kind of the sub headline for this webinar, but the sub headline we usually use is High Hanging Fruit, the most powerful marketing strategy in the world for ambitious real estate agents. And that's not hype, that's not fluff. What we're going to be talking about on this webinar are the specific lead generation strategies that I guess have come to be known as High Hanging Fruit. My name is Tim Chermak. I literally wrote the book on High Hanging Fruit. And just a reminder, as Mitch mentioned, everyone who joins us on today's webinar is going to get a free copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. No strings attached. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything like that. It's a legit, real 200-page book. We're gonna give you a free copy of that book, again, totally free, no strings attached. And the webinar today is gonna go into detail on some of the lead generation strategies from that book, or how you can use the Facebook lead gen strategies from the book to actually start getting leads in your market this month. It's not something that takes 6 months to set up, or 2 or 3 months to get going. You see results damn near right away. So we're gonna talk about all that in the webinar, and I'm gonna show you as many specific examples as I can of actual realtors that are using this system, getting results. I'll share some videos with you of them telling their kind of before and after case studies of what their business looked like before they started using High Hanging Fruit, and then after, once they implemented this High Hanging Fruit marketing strategy, as well as we're gonna dive into the specific Facebook ads that we use to generate leads. So it's not just gonna be theory, we're actually gonna dive into the specifics of the actual ads that are generating leads. We have people email us constantly, guys, and they say this is the most practical, most valuable webinar they've ever been on, because I get it. Like, most webinars that realtors hop onto are total bullshit. They're total fluff. It's all hype, 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 and like, they never get into the actual substance of it. So without further ado, let's dive into what exactly is High Hanging Fruit. I'm gonna open up my PowerPoint, and we're gonna start talking about some of the specifics of this High Hanging Fruit strategy. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna hop into screen share, and I'll go into PowerPoint here. All right, cool. Hope you guys can see my screen here. All right, awesome. So High Hanging Fruit, I'll just get right into it. High Hanging Fruit is this idea that if you're gonna be generating leads, we don't want the low hanging fruit. That's what most agents out there are targeting, is low hanging fruit. What I call low hanging fruit are the buyers and sellers out there. Again, whether they're buyer leads or they're seller leads. It's the buyer and seller leads out there that are like ready to go in the next couple weeks, right? That's what I call low-hanging fruit. Of course, most agents want low-hanging fruit because they think, oh, all things being equal, I'd rather have a lead who's ready to start house hunting this week, or I'd rather have a seller lead who's like ready to put the sign in their yard and list their house this week, right? And that's what Zillow and Realtor.com are all about. I mean, really, when someone gets to the point psychologically in their sales cycle where they want to go on Zillow and they're actually, they're actually entering their contact information and becoming a lead, on Zillow or Realtor.com, they're typically very far down the sales cycle, and they're usually ready to make a decision in the next month. They're ready to start house hunting in the next month, or they're ready to potentially have you over for a listing appointment in the next month. That's what I call low-hanging fruit. Of course, everyone wants the low-hanging fruit, right? But paradoxically, because everyone is targeting that low-hanging fruit, those are the most expensive leads to generate, and that's where all the competition is. So high-hanging fruit is kind of this contrarian idea. It's the opposite of what most realtors have been taught their entire career on how to generate leads. High-hanging fruit is this marketing philosophy that we actually want to target leads at the top of the sales cycle as early as we possibly can, when they're kind of just doing research, right? Maybe they're 6 months away from actually being ready to buy or sell. So again, maybe they're actually 6 months away from actually being ready to buy or sell. They're kind of in that casual, oh, I'm just doing research phase. That's when we want to generate the leads. You know, we can offer them a free video series or a free report, you know, any sort of offer of information to help them research, right? So when they're that far out, you know, 5 or 6 months away from actually being ready to buy or sell, we specifically create marketing campaigns that generate leads of people that are in that kind of researching sales cycle. So right now it's October, right? We want to generate leads of people that might not be actually ready to, you know, buy a house or sell a house until January of next year, February of next year, even March of next year. Because if we can get to them that early, we have a monopoly on their attention, you know, for 4 or 5, 6 months before other realtors start marketing to them. And if we can build a relationship with them early in the sales cycle, you know, this is what I call high-hanging fruit. If we can build a relationship with them early in the sales cycle, you'll always have a massive pipeline of leads, and you build trust with them before they ever get to the point where they'd go on Zillow and start, you know, signing up, and then they start getting phone calls from 20 other realtors, right? We want them as your, you know, client before that point. So that's what high-hanging fruit is. I wanted to start with the substance and just give it to you right away because I hate when people go on webinars and you know, it's 45 minutes of straight up fluff before they ever get down to any, you know, practical actual takeaways. So that's what high-hanging fruit is. What we're going to be sharing with you on the webinar are some specific Facebook examples of how we create these lead generation ads that actually get leads to opt in, you know, when they're 4 or 5, 6 months away from being ready to go. The cool thing is when we do this right, these leads are typically about, you know, $4 to $5 a piece. So per every $100 you're spending on these high-hanging fruit style ads, you're probably bringing in 25, maybe even 30 leads per every $100 you spend. So we have all sorts of realtors that because these leads are coming in, you know, so cheap, I mean, just $3 or $4 a lead, they're getting hundreds of leads a month, like hundreds and hundreds of leads a month. So this text I have here on the screen is actually a text that we got from a realtor in Florida, actually. And the part of this text I want you to focus on is actually at the very end. He said, "My pipeline is full. Thank you." That's what high-hanging fruit is all about. It's about building your pipeline. We don't really care about, you know, what leads you have ready to go in the next couple weeks or what leads you have that are going to be ready to go in 6 weeks. We want to build your pipeline so you constantly have a future pipeline of buyers and sellers that will be ready to go in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, in 5 months. Because then you never have the stress of worrying about, oh my gosh, like I'm really busy right now, but I have nothing lined up, you know, for 3 months. I have no idea if I'm going to get any closings over the winter, right? That's a shitty feeling. That's a stressful feeling, right? We want to give you the peace of mind of knowing you always have a full pipeline. So right now it's, you know, it's October, right? We want you to have the feeling of, hey, even though Thanksgiving and, you know, the Christmas holidays are coming up, that you know you'll actually have clients to be working with in November, December, January, February, you know, the months that are typically pretty slow for most realtors. That's what this is all about. So as we dive into this, I want to emphasize that high-hanging fruit isn't really a marketing tactic as much as it is a marketing philosophy. So it's even like it's at a bigger picture level than a tactic or a strategy. It's really a philosophy. It's like a new way of thinking about marketing. Because as we dive more into this, as we dive deeper into this, you're going to realize that most of what I'm telling you on this training and most of what's in the book, High-Hanging Fruit, is very contrarian. It's honestly the opposite of what you've probably been doing. It's the opposite of the sales strategies and marketing strategies that most realtors are taught. So I like to say it's not really a tactic, and it's also not even really a strategy. It's more of like a marketing philosophy. It's a new way of thinking about how you do your marketing. So the bulk of what we're going to talk about today is why I think most internet leads suck. We'll talk about the Zillow industrial complex and how the cost and the cost per click of leads has gone up so much in the last couple of years, and how if you cut out the middleman, you cut out Zillow, you cut out Realtor.com, that you can actually start generating leads for just $3 or $4 a piece using this high-hanging fruit strategy. So again, I hope you heard me correctly. You can generate leads for $3 to $4 a piece. So every $100 you spend on ads, you're going to be bringing in, 25, even 30 leads per every $100 that you spend. So because of that, I'm going to share a bunch of videos with you actually of real agents just like you that watched this webinar that took action on this high-hanging fruit strategy. And we have lots and lots of stories where people have doubled their GCI using the strategy. So it's not just something that can add, maybe 4 or 5 deals, to your business. We're talking about this can double, or in some cases actually even triple your GCI, because you're bringing in hundreds of new leads a month. And unlike Realtor.com or unlike Zillow, you're bringing in hundreds of leads a month, but those leads aren't costing you $30 a piece or $20 a piece. They're usually costing you just $3 or $4 a piece. To do that, you have to cut out the middleman. So you need to learn to generate leads by yourself using these high-hanging fruit ads. So I want to start, like I said, with a story of someone who took action here and of someone who really appreciates the high-hanging fruit story. I'll show you this, and then we'll dive into some of these specific Facebook ads that bring in these leads.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Garrick, real estate agent in Southwest Florida with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm here today to talk to you about the book High Hanging Fruit and the Platform System. And if you've ever read any of the books by Gary Keller, The One Thing or The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, they give you the real big picture thinking on how to come up with a business plan and to grow your real estate business. This is the rocket fuel to that system, to actually how to market your business and yourself effectively. So definitely, if you're interested in this book, pick up a copy, and also contact Platform. It was one of the best business decisions I've ever made.
Cool. So as he said there, like he's read the book, by Gary Keller, like The Millionaire Real Estate Agent and One Thing, those books that are really popular for most agents, right? Pretty much, I feel like every realtor has read those books. But those books really talk about business planning and kind of the really big picture. High-hanging fruit is what gave him the actual practical battle plan to implement his goals, right? Like whether your goal is adding another 200,000 in GCI to your business, or maybe your goal is adding another 100,000 of GCI to your business, high-hanging fruit is going to give you the actual battle plan. So you'll have some practical ideas of how to actually, hit those goals, right? Because if you want to grow your business by $100,000, but you don't really know how you're going to do it, that's not really a goal, right? That's more of just a wish. So high-hanging fruit is going to give you these specific ideas of how to generate the leads that will be necessary to actually growing your business. As I mentioned, everyone who's on this webinar today is going to get a free copy of the book. Keep watching, and we will reveal at the end of this webinar how to get a copy of that book. We try to usually wrap these up in like an hour, so it's not going to be a 5-hour webinar or anything crazy like that. So keep watching to the end, and everyone will get a free copy of the book, no strings attached. So here's a 30-second video that I want to show you guys. This is probably our best ever case study. This is someone who actually quadrupled their business specifically from leads generated using high-hanging fruit. So his business didn't just double, it didn't just triple, it actually quadrupled because of the lead generation system he built using this high-hanging fruit strategy.
Hey guys, if you're still skeptical about high-hanging fruit, let's just break down the numbers real quick. In 2013, I did 25 deals. I then implemented high-hanging fruit platform so that in 2014, I went from 25 to 50 deals. In 2015, I went from 50 deals to 70 deals, baby. And now in 2016, I'm making over 100 transactions so that you know. And now that I have my team in place in 2016, just imagine what I'm going to do in 2017. Make it a phenomenal day.
So that's Jose Medina. He's a realtor in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And he does over 100 transactions a year. But before high-hanging fruit, he was consistently doing about 25 every year, year after year. So it's literally quadrupled his business. The cool thing is Jose is doing over 100 transactions, and he doesn't even have a big team. It's just him and an assistant, right? So it's not like it's him and 5 people. This is how many leads that it is generating for him. So I'm going to talk really fast. As I said, the goal is to wrap this up in about an hour. So please grab a pen and paper so you can take notes. I will start talking pretty quickly here so we can get through all the strategies and all the slides. So I'm going to wait for literally 5 seconds. If you can go grab a Post-it note or a pencil and paper so you guys can take notes. I'll wait for 5 seconds here. All right, cool. So just really quickly about me, I promise I won't talk about this too much, but as Mitch said, my name is Tim Shermack. I'm the author of High Hanging Fruit and the CEO of Platform Marketing. This is the first book I wrote, Main Street Marketing. I wrote this book a couple years ago for small business owners. It was really written for just general small business owners. It wasn't for realtors specifically, but it contained all my lead generation strategies and marketing strategies for local brick and mortar small business owners. And what happened was a lot of realtors read the book and they started contacting me saying that they were implementing, those strategies and it was working just so well for them. So I started interviewing them, and I realized, like, wow, this is like especially powerful for real estate agents. So I started working more closely with some of those agents in a consulting type of relationship, and the results that we created together was like amazing. I mean, it wasn't just like, hey, we grew your business by 20%. It was time after time, we were actually doubling and tripling people's income, like their GCI. Like we had people going from $100,000 a year in GCI to $250,000 a year, going from $50,000 a year in GCI to $200,000 a year in GCI. So because of that, I kind of just realized, hey, I think we're onto something here. So I wrote the book High Hanging Fruit, and this is an actual 200-page book that I wrote specifically for realtors. So it's a marketing book that I wrote specifically for realtors. And again, if you're on this webinar, you are going to get a free copy. Just stay tuned to the end, and I'll tell you how you can get this book for free, no strings attached. So let's talk about what this means at a practical level, how to implement high-hanging fruit to grow your business. Well, actually, first, just so you guys know, you see the word platform in the bottom right of all these slides. Platform is a company I founded. It's a marketing agency that we specialize in working with realtors. So Platform is the company I founded, for realtors that are interested in just hiring us to do all this for you. But I will use the phrase platform and high-hanging fruit interchangeably. So if I say like the high-hanging fruit strategy, or I say the platform strategy, I'm talking about the same thing. It means the exact same thing. So if you hear me say platform or high-hanging fruit, it means the same thing. On this webinar, those are synonyms. So let's talk about how to actually implement this in your business, like today. How can you implement this today and start creating results? So most agents are doing the opposite of what they should be doing. That's the first premise that I start with. Most agents are investing their time at the top of the funnel. Like if you think of the sales cycle, right? It's like that upside down triangle. That big funnel where all the leads come in at the top, but by the end of the funnel, by the end of the sales cycle, only a couple of them will actually end up buying a house, right? It's like that, that funnel, the upside down triangle, the sales cycle or the sales funnel. Most agents are investing all their time at the top of the funnel, and they're investing their money at the bottom of the funnel. So what that means is like to generate leads, right, at the top of the funnel, to actually generate leads, what they're doing is they're cold calling for 2 hours every day, or they're cold calling for 3 hours every day. Maybe they took the BOLD class with Keller Williams, right? And it essentially boils down to make as many cold calls as possible because you want to get as many touches as possible, right? As many contacts as possible. And so they time block every day from 9 to 11 a.m. They're just cold calling, or maybe they're trying to get out into the community and they're volunteering, or they are going to networking events, right? Maybe they're in like a BNI group, or they're starting a networking group to try to build their network and build their sphere of influence in their farm area, in their community. Maybe they're door knocking in a neighborhood, right? They're farming the area. Most agents invest just a bunch of time on lead generation, but they're not necessarily investing any money on lead generation. So basically their lead generation is inherently capped by the number of hours they have in a day. The marketing budget they do have, whether they're spending $1,000 a month on marketing or whether they're spending $200 a month on marketing, they're spending their money at the bottom of the funnel trying to buy leads, right? They're not necessarily growing leads or cultivating leads, they're buying leads. Almost like it's like a retail transaction, right? You're buying leads from Realtor.com, or you're buying leads from Zillow. And when you buy leads at the bottom of the funnel, what I call, low-hanging fruit, maybe you have a contract with Zillow for $300 a month or for $800 a month or whatever it is. If you're buying leads from companies like that, it's really, really expensive because that's where all the competition is. All the competition is at the bottom of the funnel. All the competition is fighting over those low-hanging fruit leads, right? It's the people that are ready to buy a house in the next couple of weeks, or they're ready to list their house this month. It's basically people that are ready to go sooner than later, right? That's where all the competition is. 99% of the realtors are fighting over the 1% of leads that are right there. So of course those leads are really expensive. It's just a total imbalance in the supply-demand dynamic, right? All the supply is chasing those limited demand of leads that are currently surfing on Zillow, or they're currently surfing Realtor.com, right? And so if you're buying leads from those places, of course it's going to be really expensive. You're basically bidding, you're competing against all the other realtors that also want those leads. So most agents are doing the opposite of what I think they should be doing. They're investing all their time at the top of the funnel by, networking or time blocking to, cold call as many people as they can every day. They're cold calling expireds. They're cold calling the FSBOs in their area, right? Maybe they have a subscription with the Red X or with, Radian, right? And they're, or not Radian, Vulcan, right? And they're just getting fresh reports of all the expired listings that hit that day, or FSBOs in the area, right? So they're cold calling for sale by owners and, homeowners of expired listings, trying to get conversations. And it's basically the law of large numbers, right? It's not that it's an efficient strategy, cold calling. It's just that if you call enough people, if you're making hundreds of dials a day, maybe you even have a dialer set up, right? It's just the law of large numbers. If you make enough dials per day, you'll eventually get a couple conversations per day. But that's a really stupid way of doing it because it's not scalable. If you're spending your time at the top of the funnel to generate leads, your business is always going to be capped by the number of free hours you have in a day. So the paradox is once it actually starts working, right? If you make enough cold calls, it'll start working. I'm not denying that. It totally works. But the paradox is once it actually starts working, it's not scalable because you run out of hours in a day, right? Like you have to leave some time in your day to actually show homes, to, write the contracts, negotiate offers, actually do your job as a realtor, right? So we want to flip this. We want to do the opposite of what most agents are doing. And that's why I said high-hanging fruit isn't just a tactic. It's really like a philosophy. It's a completely new way of thinking about marketing. So we want to do the opposite of what pretty much all the other realtors are doing. We want to invest our money at the top of the funnel, not at the bottom. We want to invest our money at the top of the funnel, paying to generate leads, so that you can invest your time at the bottom of the funnel, only working with the warmest leads that your marketing system has warmed up for you. So let me say that again. When most agents are cold calling at the top of the funnel to generate leads, they're spending their time cold calling to generate leads. We want to spend our money creating lead gen ads that generate the leads for us at the top of the funnel, so that we can only spend our time working with leads that are already warmed up to us, that our marketing system already cultivated for us. So from now on, you're only going to spend your time following up with warm leads who actually requested to speak with you. It's not someone who signed up on Zillow and then boom, they get 25 phone calls from agents that day, right? Because Zillow sold their information to 20 other agents, right? That's a very difficult way of converting leads because it's a zero-sum game. You're competing against dozens of other agents to be the first person to call, right? We don't want to play that game. We just want to opt out entirely and generate our own leads. So we're going to spend money at the top of the funnel generating leads, primarily with Facebook ads, because this is where I found we can get leads for like $3 or $4 a piece, right? Generate leads at the top of the funnel for buyers and sellers that are maybe 4 or 5 or 6 months away from actually being ready to buy or sell. And we'll let our high-hanging fruit marketing system cultivate those leads, keep you top of mind, warm them up for you, so that you only are spending your time at the bottom of the funnel speaking to warm leads who actually want to talk to you, okay? The reason this works so well, especially if you're on a limited budget, like, maybe you're like, oh man, Tim, like that sounds great, but I don't have $1,000 a month to spend on marketing, right? I only have $150 a month to spend on marketing, right? Cool, that's totally fine. This will work for you potentially even better because the cost per lead is so cheap at the top of the funnel. If you're generating leads of buyers and sellers that are 6 months away from actually, being ready to take action, you're not paying a $20 cost per lead or a $30 cost per lead. I see a lot of people that when they divide the number of leads that they're getting by how much they spent on Zillow for a month, or whether it's Zillow or Realtor.com or Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or whatever, right? When they divide their marketing budget by the number of actual leads they got, they're like, holy crap, I'm paying $50 cost per lead, right? Like I'm spending $1,000 a month and I'm only getting 20 leads from Zillow. Like I'm paying $50 per every lead. Of course, if you're only closing like 1 out of every 10 of those leads, that's a lot of money to be paying in a cost per lead basis. It doesn't really make economic sense. However, the business model, the marketing model totally changes in your favor if you can generate these leads for just $3 or $4 a piece. And that's what you can do with these high-hanging fruit style Facebook ads. Every $100 you spend, you're going to be bringing in 25 to 30 leads. So you can see how I'm not bullshitting you when I say that all these realtors that have doubled their business, or in some cases they've even tripled their GCI, it's because they have hundreds of leads coming a month, and those leads are only costing them $3 or $4 a piece. So here's how this works. Here's why this works, right? At the bottom of the funnel, it's basic junior high economics. It's junior high supply and demand, like you probably learned, at school when you were 12 years old, right? If the demand for something greatly exceeds the supply, the price goes up, right? That's economics 101. You learned about that in junior high. If the demand is greater than the supply, the price goes up. So in the United States, over like the last, let's just call it 10 years, the rate of home ownership, like the rate of the population, the percentage of the population that's buying a home at any given time has essentially been constant, right? The same number of people are buying homes, this year as were 5 years ago. That number is maintained pretty constant. However, what's changed is that there's probably 10 times as many realtors now that are starting to realize that digital marketing is the future, and they need to be shifting some of their budget from direct mail or billboards or things like that. They're shifting their marketing budgets online, into systems like Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Curator, or maybe they're buying leads from Realtor.com, or they're buying leads from Zillow, right? So approximately the same number of people are buying homes as were 5 years ago, but there's like 10 times as many realtors that are bidding on all those online impressions. So the demand is totally out of whack with the supply. There's way more demand for those clicks than there is supply. And so obviously the price is going to go up, right? Like I said, it's like junior high economics. When demand exceeds supply, the price goes up. Ask anyone who's been using Google pay-per-click in the last 5 years. They'll tell you, yeah, like for the same amount of money, I used to get way more leads 5 years ago because there was just less competition. Now there's so many realtors bidding on those keywords, bidding on those clicks, it just naturally has driven the price up, right? And so like high hanging fruit is a way around that problem. It's a way to solve that problem where we can run targeted ads, but we're not paying $20 or $30 or $50 cost per lead. We can still get leads for $3 or $4 a piece. And we do that by avoiding what I call the Zillow industrial complex or the Google industrial complex. What this is if you think about if you're getting your leads from Zillow or Realtor.com, realize that they are getting those clicks from Google, right? So if you're buying leads from Zillow, you have to ask yourself, okay, where did Zillow get the leads, right? Zillow got them from buying clicks, pay-per-click on Google, right? And so Zillow is essentially a middleman for leads from Google, right? So when you're buying those leads from Zillow, you have to pay, a premium because Zillow needs to make a profit too, because they're a for-profit business, right? Same thing with Realtor.com, same thing with, Commissions Inc. or Boomtown or any of those other systems. They're essentially just a middleman for leads from Google. And so what I'm telling you is, if you understand how to do this, you can cut out the middleman, right? If you cut out the middleman, your cost per lead immediately overnight can go from $30 or $20 cost per lead to like a $3 cost per lead. How we do that is we move away from Google, which is what everyone else is doing, and we start using Facebook to generate leads. Facebook is still the wild, wild west of online advertising. Facebook, the average cost per click on Facebook, if you're running targeted ads, the average cost per click is what it used to be on Google 5 or 10 years ago. So, 5 or 10 years ago, that was the wild, wild west of Google. That was when a lot of realtors literally became millionaires just because they optimized their website for the right keywords, and they were probably the only website in town that had figured that out. That era has passed, though. Google is now really, really saturated with big companies, like Zillow, like Redfin, like Realtor.com, and you don't have $1 billion budget like they do, so you're not going to be able to beat them on Google. So Google used to be the wild, wild west, but now the most exciting place to generate leads on the internet, the wild, wild west, is on Facebook. Facebook is where you want to be generating leads, and that's what we're going to talk about today, like the specific ads to run on Facebook so that you can get leads for $3 a piece and $4 a piece. So I hope that makes sense. So this isn't just, again, like high-hanging fruit is not just a tactic. It's actually a new way of thinking about marketing and how we're going to generate the leads, right? So what typically works best to attract someone who's in that, just doing research phase is we want to have informational offers, like an offer of a free report or an offer of a video series or an offer of like a listing video tour where it's an actual video that you filmed, not a photo slideshow like on Tour Factory, but I'm saying an actual video tour. Things like that that actually provide value to someone who's kind of just in that doing research phase, right? I've even had agents I've worked with that have written a book. Like they sat down and wrote like a 150-page book about their market. So like if you're in, Topeka, Kansas, right? You would write a book like, The Ultimate Guide to Topeka Real Estate. It's like a 150-page book that you actually wrote. And then you use that book as a free offer of information to generate leads, just like I'm doing on this webinar, right? I offered to give away a free copy of my book to anyone who joined us for the webinar. And that was such a valuable offer of information that you're on the webinar right now because of that free offer, right? So you use the same strategy in your business at a local level to generate buyer and seller leads. So you come up with free offers of information that are valuable enough for someone to justify giving you their contact information. So that's how we generate leads early on. Because if you try to hard sell someone who's still 4 or 5 or 6 months away, and you try to like schedule appointments or schedule showings or, ask for their name and email and their phone number, like just to get general details on a listing, like how they generate leads on Zillow, that's not going to work. Because if I'm 5 or 6 months away, let's say from buying a house, like I'm still just casually doing research, right? I'm not that warm yet where I'm going to be willing to give some random realtor, my name and email and phone number because I know they'll be calling me. And if I'm 6 months away, I don't want some random agent calling me, right? So most agents don't know how to generate leads of those casual people that are just doing research because they're a little bit too aggressive, right? So we need to come up with super, super valuable offers of information like a free book, right? Like a free video series. Maybe you film a video series, the top 5 neighborhoods in Albuquerque, right? Let's say you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can film a video series, the top 5, my top 5 favorite neighborhoods in Albuquerque. That's one that we've seen work really, really well as a way of high-hanging fruit lead generation where to get the video series, they have to opt in, right? So after they give us their name and email and their contact information, then we send them the link where they can watch all the videos of like the top 5 neighborhoods in Albuquerque, right? And so that's how we generate leads early in the sales cycle. So to be clear, what gets leads to register, what gets leads to actually give you their contact information early in the sales cycle, when they're still 6 months away, like what I call the high-hanging fruit leads, what gets them to trust you enough to give you their contact information early on is you have to have a really, really valuable offer of just unbiased information that they deem as worthy of trading you, their contact information for. So anyways, this is a text message. I've had this on the screen here, so I should probably explain this. This is a text message I got from a realtor who's using this strategy actually up in Wisconsin. The reason I wanted to show you this particular text message I got is that you can see there, he's like, yeah, I just followed up with these leads and I got a couple pre-approvals, for 400,000. And he said, dude, this really does work. What's cool about this is that this kid is 19 years old. So this is a 19-year-old realtor. His name is Keaton. He's in Wisconsin. So it's a 19-year-old realtor. If a 19-year-old kid who's basically fresh out of high school can figure this out and generate leads and get closings, using this, he's going to make 100 grand this year as a realtor at age 19. If a 19-year-old can do this, you guys can too. That's how powerful this high-hanging fruit strategy is. So let's talk about how your day is currently structured and how your business is currently structured, because I think it really boils down to marketing. And growing your business boils down to what kind of marketing you're doing, right? The answer isn't just marketing, it's what kind of marketing are you doing? So most agents, what I've observed in the last 4 years that I've been working with realtors, and I've been running the platform agency, where realtors hire us to do their lead generation for them, what I found is that most agents hit a plateau around 30 transactions a year. Like maybe they're hustling and they're doing 20 transactions a year, and then they did 27, right? And then usually around 30, what happens is around 30 closings a year, they plateau. You know, it's not 30 on the dot, obviously. You know, it's 32 or 34 or 29 or, you know, whatever it is. Somewhere around 30, they plateau. And what happens is they just run out of time. Like they run out of hours in the day to do more lead generation and to follow up with the leads that they're generating, because they're spending all the time actually being a realtor, right? They're showing homes, they're going on listing appointments, you know, they're attending closings, things like that. Around 30 transactions a year. Again, whether it's, you know, 28 or 37, whatever, approximately around 30 transactions a year, most agents run out of time to grow their business. Like time is the limiting factor on why they can't grow their business. They simply don't have enough time to work with more, you know, more leads and more clients. And the reason that is because the way they're generating leads is manual labor, right? They got to the point where they could do 30 transactions a year just by straight up hustle, right? Just with hard work, just by putting in the time, most agents can get to 30 transactions a year, right? Just by making sure they always follow up with people who email them, making sure that they answer the phone whenever they get a sign call from one of, you know, their yard signs, making sure that when they do have listings, they host an open house, right? And they have balloons and they get people to show up at the open house and they follow up with everyone who attended the open house, right? They ask for referrals. They get a couple of client referrals every year, maybe from their sphere, right? Just with straight up hard work, just with hustling, right? You can get to about 30 transactions a year just with hustle. But to get beyond 30, to go from 30 to 50, or from 30 to 60 transactions a year, or to get from 30 to 80 transactions a year, or even 100 transactions a year, like some of our platform clients, you can't do that with hard work. Like hustle is not enough. In fact, hustle is the exact thing that's stopping you from getting to the next level, because the inherent limiting factor on the growth of your business is your time. And so at a certain point, usually what I observe happens around 30, 35 transactions a year is you run out of time because it's all about working hard. So you need to stop thinking it's a sales problem and realize that it's actually a marketing problem, specifically a lead generation problem. So again, I'm going to summarize this in one sentence. To get to 30 transactions, you need hustle, but to get beyond 30 transactions, you need a marketing system. I'm going to show you a quick video of someone who actually quadrupled. You can see they went from 15 to actually 60 closings a year. But I want to emphasize again that this is not just by working harder. It's not just by making more cold calls. You know, like, oh, I'm dialing expired listings every day from 9 to 11. Now I'm going to start doing it, you know, from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m., right? You can't do that, because more than likely, if you're doing, let's say, 30 transactions a year, more than likely, I can almost guarantee that you're already working 50 hours a week, right? So if you're working 50 hours a week and you want to get to 60 transactions a year, like let's say you want to double your business from 30 transactions a year to 60, you can't just start working 100 hours a week. If you're already working 50, the answer isn't to work twice as hard, because it's impossible to work 100 hours a week. You actually have to start doing something different with your marketing, something that's more scalable than just making a shitload of cold calls every morning, right? That works, right? So I'm not knocking people that cold call, to be clear. I think, you know, the Bold program at Keller Williams is great, and I've seen many agents who have really grown their business by making a bunch of cold calls every morning. The problem with it is that it only works up until a certain point, because it's not scalable. You can realistically only cold call for 2 or 3 hours every day, because you have to leave some hours in your day to actually be a realtor, right? Like go out and show homes, go on listing appointments, you know, be a realtor, right? And so that's great if your goal is to make 100,000 and you don't, you know, want to grow beyond that. But if you want to get to the point where you're making 200,000 a year in GCI, or 300,000 a year in GCI, or $500,000 a year in GCI, you have to move beyond hustle and actually build a marketing system. That's what high hanging fruit is all about. And here's another example of a client I worked with who did exactly that.
Hey guys, Paul Gillespie team at Keller Williams Gateway. Before I met Tim and implemented the platform marketing system, I was selling about 15 houses a year.
I'm 3 years into it. The second year, I sold 25. This year, I'm going to sell 60, and then next year, our goal is to sell 100. So the platform system is a real deal. I could not have scaled my business so quickly without it. Thank you.
Cool. So again, you can get to about 30 transactions a year just by straight up hustle. But to get beyond that, it's about lead generation. And so I already talked about this a little bit, but we want to avoid Google pay-per-click. We want to avoid Zillow and Realtor.com because that's just too expensive. Those clicks are way too expensive. And if the clicks are too expensive, obviously the leads are going to be too expensive as well. So here's four strategies, like 4 specific reasons that I think high-hanging fruit is a game changer for your career, right? First is that we're offering real value, okay? We're offering real value. The ads that we run are not just branding you, right? It's not just about getting your name out there or blasting out an ad that has your face on it or your broker's logo on it or, you know, something like that. The ads that we run are offering something of value to get people to actually opt in and give their contact information, right? Most agents totally underestimate how hard it is to reach the point psychologically where someone thinks, oh, that's a good offer. I'm willing to give my name and email to get that, right? Most agents just don't understand that to run a Facebook ad, right, to a total stranger and have them give you their name and email, you can't just offer some, you know, BS PDF or a BS, you know, ebook that's 4 pages long, or, you know, ask someone to give you all of their contact information, you know, just to let's say see pictures of one of your listings, right? I see a lot of people that are using the curator system and they're generating leads by asking people, hey, you know, go here and sign up and I'll give you more information about this listing. It's like, that's a really bad offer of information because they'll just go to Zillow and get it for free, or they'll just go to Realtor.com and get it for free because they can go to Realtor.com or Zillow and they don't have to give their contact information, right? And so if you want to actually do this in a way that generates leads, you have to think, what is something that is so valuable, right? Like what's something that's so valuable that I could actually get someone to give their contact information. I mean, you're on this webinar right now, right? You didn't come on this webinar just because I said, hey guys, it's Tim Shermack, and I would love for you to join us today so I can talk to you about marketing. Give me your name and email and your phone number, right? That's not how it works. You're not going to give out your contact information to some random stranger, you know, just because they asked for it. Like if you're going to surrender your contact information, it better be for something really, really valuable, right? It can't be something that's just, you know, a 2-page PDF or, hey, give me all your contact info, you know, just so I can send you photos of this listing. It's like, well, no. If I just wanted to look at photos of that listing, I'll go to Realtor.com and get it for free, and I don't have to give any realtor my contact info, right? And so the way that most agents right now are generating leads, I mean, honestly, I bet 95% of lead generation is all done the same way right now. Whether you have a Real Geeks website or a Boomtown website, or even something like Realtor.com or Zillow, this is how everyone is generating leads right now. What they do is they drive them to their website, or they have IDX installed on their website, right? Someone starts looking for homes, and in the background, an automatic timer goes off, you know, once someone's been looking at homes for, you know, 25 seconds or something like that, and then they get a pop-up, right? It's the same across the board, whether you're using Commissions Inc., Boomtown, Real Geeks, you know, I mean, again, also Zillow, Realtor.com, you know, they're all the same, right? So you're on some agent's IDX website, and they're looking at listings, and then boom, they get a pop-up that says, hey, if you want to keep searching for homes, you must register. And it asks them to create an account, right? At that point, you're asking for name, email, phone number to create an account so that you can keep looking at homes. Just so you guys know the stats on that, typically those only convert at like 5%. So for every 100 people that actually go to your website, you're actually only getting 5 out of every 100, just 5% to actually opt in. That's a really low percentage. It basically means you're pissing off the other 95%, right? You're angering 95% of people by forcing them to register just to look at homes so you can get 5% of people to opt in. That's not a very efficient way to do your marketing. And it makes the cost per lead really, really expensive, because even if your cost per click is really cheap in driving clicks to your website, if you're only converting 5% of those clicks, the cost per lead is still going to be really high, right? So what you need to do instead is have a strategy that converts more of those leads and actually gives them something valuable that they actually want, right? So I've had great success in offering a free book because I've found that asking for someone's contact information in exchange for a free book is a really, really valuable offer of information. Most people, if they're even sort of interested, in the subject matter, right? If I'm like, hey, I'll send you my free book, about real estate marketing, they're like, oh yeah, sure, here's my contact info. That's actually a really good deal, right? It's not a one-page PDF or anything. It's like a legit book, right? It's like, yeah, sure, I'll give you my contact information. That seems like a fair trade to me, right? And so if, as a realtor, your lead generation strategy consists of, driving clicks to my website, and then I get people to opt in at my website by forcing them to register just to look at pictures of homes, that's not really a fair trade. That's more of like a hostage situation, right? You're just taking people hostage and you're like, hey, give me your contact information or else you can't look at homes, right? That's not a fair trade at all. So no wonder agents are struggling in generating leads, because the way they're generating leads is just super outdated relative to how most people use the internet, right? Most people, if they're on, again, Realtor, Zillow.com, they don't want to register to look at homes. They just want to peruse homes. And when they're ready to contact an agent, then they'll do that. But if you force them to register, that just really turns people off, right? So to generate leads for $3 or $4 a piece, using this high-hanging fruit idea, we have to first brainstorm some offers of what can we offer the buyers and sellers out there that has real, tangible value, right? So what I've seen really, really successful is like a top 5 neighborhoods video, where you go out and film, maybe 5 quick 60-second videos of your favorite 5 neighborhoods in your community. And we run a Facebook ad that says, here's my top 5 favorite neighborhoods. Watch the video series here. And, maybe you're in, again, Topeka, Kansas, right? And you would create a website like www.topekatop5neighborhoods.com. And when they click that in the Facebook ad, it would bring them to a landing page where we ask them for their first name and email to opt in and watch the videos, right? And it makes it clear that they have to enter an accurate name and email, or else they won't get the videos, because we're going to email them a link to where they can watch the videos. So this is really, really important. I hope everyone is taking notes. I hope everyone is paying attention right now. This is key to making this work. You have to make it clear that you're going to email them the free report, or that you're going to email them the video link, for the top 5 neighborhoods video. Or if it's an offer of like a free book, you're going to email them a link where they can register to get the free book, right? Because if it's not clear that you're going to email them the thing that they want, they'll probably put a fake email, right? Most people don't want to give their email addresses out to strangers. And so they'll put, fu@gmail.com, or, just like screw you at hotmail.com, right? They put clearly fake emails, or 11111@gmail.com, right? So we have to make it clear, hey, if you want this free report, or you want this video series, you want this free book, whatever, enter your real email address and we'll email you the link. So by putting that on the landing page, we basically, once and for all, eliminate the problem of fake contact info, right? People will never again put a fake email address in, or a fake name, right? Because we're actually going to email them the thing that they're requesting. And they realize, well, if I want that free book, or I want to see that video report on, like the top 5 neighborhoods, I guess I have to put an accurate email address, because they're going to email it to me. And obviously, if you put a fake email address, we won't know where to send your free book or your free video series or whatever it is that you were requesting, right? So the key to making this work, though, is you have to be offering something that has a high enough perceived value that's interesting enough to where they're willing to voluntarily part ways with their email address. Where they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, fine, sure. Here's my name, here's my real email address, send me that free book. I want to read that free book. Or, here's my name, Here's my real email address. Yeah, go ahead and send me that video report because I'm actually interested in that video report, right? So we make it clear that we're going to email it to them so that they put a real email. I mean, the problem of fake emails in the real estate industry, I think, is reaching a level of like epidemic, right? So many people I talk to, so many agents that are using Commissions Inc. or they're using Boomtown or other systems. They say, yeah, I'm getting some leads, but the problem is 80% of the leads are fake emails or they're fake phone numbers that people put. They're fake names. Where when I call them to follow up, it's a dead number. Or when I email them, it bounces back to me, right? Because it's a fake email address. This solves that problem once and for all. We don't have this problem with Platform because we generate leads in such a way where the people actually want what you're offering, and so they'll give you a real email address, right? So if you do this right, you won't have any more fake leads. All your leads will actually be legit, but it has to be something that they actually want. Another thing I've seen that works pretty well is doing a quiz, like an actual multiple choice quiz. That's a great way of generating leads, and that's something we do with a lot of our Platform clients. So let's say that you wanted some seller leads, right? Like you don't just want buyers, you actually want some sellers. What we've done is we've created a multiple choice quiz. It's like a 12-question quiz that actually has A, B, C, D answers. So it's not an application, it's actually in the form of a multiple choice quiz. And the reason that a homeowner out there would click this Facebook ad and take this quiz is they want to find out, could my home realistically sell in 30 days or less, right? So we create a Facebook ad, and the actual Facebook headline says, take the quiz to find out if your home could realistically sell in 30 days or less. So let's say that you're in, let's say that you're in Madison, Wisconsin, right? You would create this Facebook ad. Like what the Facebook ad says, word for word, is find out if your home could sell in 30 days or less. Take the Madison Homeowner Quiz. And then it would say www.madisonhomeownerquiz.com. And if they click that Facebook ad, it takes them to this multiple choice quiz that we create. And it's a 12-question multiple choice quiz that's asking them questions about their house so that the quiz can determine, with the quiz algorithm, hey, could your house realistically sell in 30 days or less? And so we're asking them questions like, how old is your roof? When was the last time you updated your kitchen? And keep in mind, all these are like A, B, C, D answers, right? So maybe A is my kitchen is brand new. B is my kitchen was installed in the last 5 years. C is my kitchen is older than 10 years old, and maybe D is I've never updated the kitchen, or my kitchen is older than 20 years old, or whatever, right? Maybe the next question is, does your house have a fenced-in backyard? A, yes, B, no. Does your house have an upgraded master bath? A, yes, it's brand new. B, yes, in the last 5 years. C, yes, we upgraded the master bath in the last 10 years. Or D, it's been more than 10 years since we upgraded the master bathroom. You can ask questions on, let's say, is your house, concrete block or stick built? It could be, what price range do you think your house is in? Because obviously price range affects a lot of houses. In most markets, the volume, let's say, is in the $200,000 to $400,000 houses, and maybe things above $400,000 take a lot longer to sell. So we ask all these questions. It's a 12-question multiple choice quiz where we're trying to learn as much about their house as possible, right? And then at the end of it, then it'll tell them if their house could realistically sell in 30 days or less. But to see their answer, they have to give us their name and email, right? And so at the very end of this quiz, after they've probably invested 5 minutes, answering all the questions, they kind of have like a psychological feeling of a sunk cost, like, oh, I took 5 minutes going through this quiz. I want to see my results, right? I want to see how I did. Then at the very end, they get a pop-up that says, great, we've calculated your results. Tell us where to email your results. All right, so obviously most people probably don't want to give us their name and email. They don't want to have to, surrender their contact information. But what happens is mentally they're like, well, oh crap, I don't want to give them my name and email, but I did just spend 5 minutes taking the stupid quiz, so I want to see my results. Like, okay, fine. I'll give them my name and email. So what we see is usually about 20 to 30% of people at the end will give us their contact information. So realize that the average website, right, whether it's like, a Real Geeks website or Boomtown or whatever, the average website for realtors, the average IDX website converts at like 5%. These quizzes will convert at 20 to 30%. So we're literally talking 5 or 6 times more leads for the same amount of money if you use a quiz. And then when you generate that lead, think about this. This is the coolest part. When you generate that lead, you're not only getting their name and email and their contact info, you're getting their contact info and how they answered all the 12 questions. So you're getting basically a detailed, almost like a seller lead application, because you're seeing how they answered all those 12 questions. You know the age of their roof, you know the last time they updated their kitchen, the last time they updated their master bath, you know if they have a pool, if they have a fenced in backyard, you know the approximate age of their home, you know whether they have, you know, like a shingled roof or a tiled roof or a metal roof, you know, I mean, it's all these questions about their home. So it's a very detailed, warm seller lead, right? It's not just their name and email, it's their, you know, their contact information and how they answered all those 12 questions. And so it makes follow-up and converting these leads really, really easy. Because if you already know these 12 questions, you can customize the follow-up based off of how they answered the questions. So this is huge. So I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you're taking notes. I'm going to say that again. If you know how they answered all those 12 questions on this multiple choice quiz, you know, this quiz lead generation funnel, you can customize your follow-up based on how they answered the question. So what that means is, let's say someone took this quiz, and keep in mind the Facebook ad says, like, you know, take the Madison homeowner quiz to find out if your home could realistically sell in 30 days or less. So just because of the headline we're using on the Facebook ad, we know that anyone who clicks on this in the first place must be thinking about selling their house. Because why the hell would you click on a Facebook ad where it says, hey, find out if your home could realistically sell in 30 days or less? Why would you even click on that ad if you weren't planning on potentially selling your house in the near future, right? So the very headline that we use in the Facebook ad qualifies the click as being a legit seller lead, right? So by the time they've clicked the ad and they've answered all these 12 questions and then they give us their contact info, this is a very warm lead, guys. So because we know how they answered all the questions, when you follow up with the lead, what you do is you pick one of the answers from one of those 12 questions and you insert it into your follow-up so that you're proving that it's a real person actually following up, right? So we'll email one of these quiz leads, and what you'll say is like let's say the homeowner's name is Bob, who took the quiz. Hey, Bob, I just saw that you took the Madison homeowner quiz, and I was going over your results. I noticed that you recently updated your kitchen. Were you planning to sell your home this year, or kind of just doing some research? So you actually mentioned in the follow-up email, I noticed that you recently updated your kitchen, right? Because that phrase will leap out to Bob because he's like, oh, wow, like an actual human being, you know, analyzed my answers. It's not just an automated follow-up email, like this is an actual person who just emailed me, right? So he's actually going to respond to the email and get into a conversation with you. So again, what that follow-up email looks like is to say, hey, Bob, I was just going over your quiz results, and I noticed that you recently updated your kitchen. Were you planning on selling your home this year or just doing some research, right? Or maybe it's, hey, Bob, I saw that you took the Madison homeowner quiz, and I noticed that you have a fenced-in backyard. Were you thinking about selling your home this year or just doing some research, right? So we only ever follow up with like 2 or 3 sentence emails, but we always make a reference to how they answered one of the questions. Because if you got an email like that, you'd be like, oh, wow, like that person actually went over they personally went over my quiz answers. Like this isn't an automated email. This is actually a real person emailing me. And so it almost catches them by surprise because they probably expected it to be like an automated email, right? But when they get that, they're like, wow, it's a real person. And so they get into a real conversation with you. So that's how we have all these agents that are using this high-hanging fruit system, this platform system. They're generating hundreds of leads a month, but it's actually translating into appointments and closings because it's not just leads coming in. They're actually setting appointments from it. And obviously the number of appointments that you set dictates eventually how many closings you're going to get. So leads by themselves are not enough. It's also how you follow up with these high-hanging fruit leads and cultivate them and stay top of mind with them. That's what determines ultimately how many closings you get. So the quiz has worked really, really well for us. We've also had great success using ads that are like a free report of homes. One thing that's worked well is like a pool homes list. This is one of my favorite ads we've been running this year. is a free report of homes with pools. And so if you're in Madison, again, Madison, Wisconsin, we'd run something like www.madisonpoolhomeslist.com. And we would run a Facebook ad that says, hey, I've created a free report of all the homes currently for sale in Madison that have a pool. So if you're looking for a home with a pool, go to www.madisonpoolhomeslist.com and I'll send you that list of homes for free, right? And then we target this ad to homeowners that are over the age of 30. Because what we're secretly trying to do is generate listing buyer combo leads, right? So people that are move-up buyers, right? This pool homes list is one of my favorite ads to get these move-up buyers because it looks like a buyer ad. Like if you looked at the ad on the surface, it looks like, oh, they're just trying to get buyer leads of people who want to buy a house with a pool. But in reality, what we're doing is we're actually generating move-up buyers of people who already own homes that want to upgrade to a home with a pool. Because just like think about this logically, right? Just step back and think about this logically. It's really, really rare for someone to buy a house with a pool as their very first home, right? Almost all first-time home buyers are not buying a home with a pool, right? So when we run this pool homes list ad for clients as a way of generating leads, it's not that we care about, getting buyer leads that want a house with a pool. There's nothing inherently good about someone who wants a home with a pool, right? It's that we know secretly that like pretty much all the leads that are going to opt into this Facebook ad campaign are homeowners, because like first-time home buyers rarely buy a home with a pool. So if they're opting into this pool homes list, we know that they probably have a home to sell. So when you start talking with that lead and you follow up with that lead and you develop a relationship with that lead, what you find out is more often than not, yeah, they own a house that they'd have to sell so that they can move up, to a bigger house with a pool. So you're going to represent them on selling their current house and buying a bigger house. You're getting both a listing and a buy-side transaction out of it. So that's one of my favorite lead gen ads we're running right now. And this ad is pretty consistently getting leads for $3 a piece. So every $100 you spend, you're getting over 30 leads opting in for this pool homes list, most of which are both listing and buyer leads. They're move-up buyers. So that's just another example of a Facebook ad that's working like really, really well right now. I hope in sharing these specific Facebook ad examples with you guys, you're starting to realize that like, oh, so that's how, that's how you're doubling people's GCI. That's how you're tripling someone's GCI. It's not just boosting videos of you, boosting videos of your open houses, right? It's actually offering specific free reports and specific offers of information, multiple choice quizzes, right, that people take, and then we get their contact information. And if you do it right, you're going to get hundreds of leads a month, doubles, right? So it's not talking about, oh, I'm getting an extra transaction every here and there. It's like, hey, I'm consistently doing 2 extra transactions every month than I was doing before. If you can get an extra 2 closings every month, that's 24 extra closings by the end of the year. For most realtors, that's a substantial increase in their business. So if you want more examples of ads that we're running that are working right now, just check out platformmarketingpdf.com. I've created a list where you can download that. It's at platformmarketingpdf.com if you want to get that free report, I guess, of a couple more Facebook ads you can experiment with that we have proven generate leads. I probably spend over $1 million a year on Facebook ads, running ads for realtors. So we figured out, at Platform, we have figured out what works and what doesn't. So, even this webinar that you're on right now is a good example, right? You are on this webinar because you wanted a free copy of the book. That was the lead generation offer we made to convince you guys to show up for this webinar. We spent about $1,000 on the ad promoting this webinar. So here's some inside baseball on how the marketing for the Facebook ad worked for this webinar that you're on right now. We spent about $1,000 promoting this webinar, and I think we had about 250 people sign up. And so we averaged about a $4 cost per lead, right? And we're targeting realtors in the entire United States of America. And so if we can target the entire US with an ad and we're getting leads for $4 a piece, you can get leads for even cheaper than that in your local community, right? Because it's a much more locally targeted ad. So your cost per lead is actually going to be even better than ours. But I know that it's like, okay, cool. I spent $1,000 promoting this webinar. We had 250 people sign up. I'm very, very happy if I can generate leads for $4 a piece. So that's how it works. That's how it works for us. It works the same way for you. right? If you're on this webinar, if you're listening to me talk right now, if you're on this webinar, you are proof that this strategy works because you clicked one of our Facebook ads, you signed up with your real email address, right? We emailed you a link to the webinar because you gave us your real email address, right? So the very fact, I mean, I just can't say this enough, the very fact that you're on this webinar is proof that this high-hanging fruit strategy works. The other reason I love doing this is it allows you to actually build a relationship with your leads. You know, in the context of low-hanging fruit, if you're buying leads from Zillow or you're buying leads from Realtor.com, or maybe you have a subscription with, you know, the RedX and you're cold calling for sale by owners, you're cold calling expired listings, right? Typically, you have to use like a sales script. It's kind of a sleazy sales script where you're trying to trick them into thinking maybe you have a buyer for their home, or I want to swing by and check out the home, right? And it's just kind of awkward. Like, you have these phone sales scripts designed to kind of corner them with gotcha questions, and it just feels awkward. No one likes phone calls like that, where you can just tell the person on the other line, you know, is using a script on you, right? They're handling all your objections, and, you know, it's like no one likes that. It just sucks, right? This high-hanging fruit strategy allows you to ditch the scripts once and for all and actually focus on just casually building relationships with people, right? Because if someone is 4 or 5 or 6 months away from actually being ready to list their house for sale, or, you know, they're 6 months away from actually starting to house hunt if they're a buyer, right? Using a sales script is kind of just weird. It's just awkward, right? Like, you want to just casually have a conversation with them, and that'll actually improve your chances of building a relationship and converting them as a lead, because you need to come off as being natural and genuine early on, right? So it's not only a more effective way of marketing, it's not only a more effective way of growing your business, it's actually more fun too when you don't have to use these kind of just icky sales phone scripts, right? So it's not just about leads. It's not just about these sales scripts and conversion and, you know, cold calling. It's about developing relationships. One way we do that in high-hanging fruit is we film a monthly market update video. So that's another one of like the cornerstone strategies that all of our realtors do who have doubled their business and tripled their business, is they film monthly market update videos. What you do is you actually go to a local restaurant and you film a quick video, just a 60-second video that you film on your phone, right? It's not a fancy produced video. You don't hire a video producer to do it. You just grab your phone, go to a local restaurant, and you film a quick 60-second video at a local restaurant, and you talk about the restaurant for the first 30 seconds. You're like, you know, hey, it's Tim. I'm here at my favorite pizzeria here in Atlanta. You know, they have the best pepperoni pizza, you know, here in Alpharetta. I love the pizza here. So if you want a great place to, you know, grab a slice of pizza, go to such and such pizzeria, you know, here in Alpharetta. It's one of my favorite local businesses here in Alpharetta. Anyways, here's what's going on in the local real estate market. You know, we're definitely in a buyer's market right now. So it's a great time to buy a house. You know, there's lots of inventory. So, you know, it's definitely a buyer's market. So if you have any questions, let me know. And definitely grab a slice of pizza if you ever find yourself, you know, in the such and such area of Alpharetta. So that's basically what a market update video is. It's just a 60-second video you film at a local business. And you just quickly mention the real estate market. But honestly, the majority of the video, you're kind of just doing a free promo for a locally owned business. The reason we do this is it positions you as being the local expert in your community. You're not just a realtor, you're also just a local expert on things going on in the area, right? And so we run these as retargeting ads on Facebook as well as emailing them out to your database. So it's about staying top of mind throughout the sales cycle, so that when you're generating hundreds and hundreds of leads a month, you know, using this platform strategy, that you're actually staying top of mind with all the leads too, because we keep you top of mind using these market update video ads. So I'm going to share with you a quick video here of an agent who films consistently. He films these market update videos, and here's a story of how he can directly track a $400,000 listing. He can directly track it right to the last market update video that he filmed.
In 2016, my team's going to do over 40 lead gen deals. It's not just all about the leads. We're walking up to a listing I have where the owner saw me in a retargeting campaign through a market update video, and now I've got a $450,000 listing. this whole high-hanging fruit marketing campaign strategy, it really works.
It's awesome. I always like to play that video until the the end where the dog barks when he walks in the house. So that's Brandon Ray. He's a platform client of ours in the Arvada, Thornton area of Denver, and that's an actual listing he got from filming the market update video. So again, you just go to a local pizzeria, or you go to a local burger, like a burger shake place. You go to a local coffee shop, right? The point is that it has to be a locally owned business. You can't go to Applebee's or McDonald's or some national chain like that. You film these quick videos, and as part of this high-hanging fruit strategy, we set up retargeting video ads on Facebook so it keeps you top of mind with all the leads. So once they click on your ads, they'll keep seeing those video retargeting ads throughout the sales cycle. So in addition to you actually manually following up with emails and phone calls and text messages, they're going to keep seeing those retargeting video ads every single day. So I'll make a promise to you. If you're on this webinar today, lucky you, you're going to keep seeing retargeting ads from us. I'm going to keep showing you case studies and videos and tips about this platform strategy because I want to stay top of mind with you. And we use Facebook retargeting ads and Instagram as well to do that. So kind of the secret sauce that makes platform work is those retargeting ads because they keep you top of mind throughout the sales cycle, right? Especially in this context of high-hanging fruit. You can't just generate a lead 6 months before they're actually ready to buy or sell and then just go radio silent on them for a couple months and then expect that they're going to work with you when they're actually ready to take action, when they're actually ready to start house hunting, they're finally ready to go on a listing appointment. You can't just generate the lead and then fall off the face of the earth and go radio silent for 3 months, right? You have to constantly stay top of mind with them without being annoying, right? But you need to stay top of mind with them with retargeting ads so that even if they are 6 months away, that throughout that sales cycle, you just gently stay top of mind with them by filming these market update videos. And then when the time is right, they'll call you and be like, hey, I'm finally ready to list my home, or I'm finally ready to buy a house. And maybe you haven't even had a conversation with them yet, but because they keep seeing your retargeting ads as part of this platform system, they keep seeing your retargeting ads, they feel like they know you. Even though you've never talked to them, they feel like they know you. So that's the other point that makes this work so well. That's how we've been able to double and literally even triple the GCI of realtors, is that it's the ultimate leverage, right? If you're cold calling, you can only cold call one person at one time. There's only so many hours in the day that you can cold call. But if you have ads running and retargeting ads running to keep you top of mind and cultivate leads, you can cultivate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads at the same time, right? We have a platform client named Becky. I'm actually going to show you a video of her in a couple minutes. Becky, I think, has like 1,800 leads in her CRM of leads that platform has generated for her. Of those 1,800 leads, she's only been working on platform for like 5 months now, right? So she's generating not just hundreds, but thousands of leads that she's cultivating at the same time because of the platform retargeting strategy. So it's the ultimate leverage. You can really, really grow your business quickly when you're not limited to only talking with one person at one time. And I want to make one final point here, that it's about quality over quantity. So before I share with you how to get a free copy of the book, I want to really emphasize that the high-hanging fruit strategy, or the platform strategy, it's not just about generating hundreds of leads. I mean, obviously getting hundreds of leads a month is exciting. That's great. It feels really good to have hundreds of leads coming in. But honestly, who cares about getting hundreds of leads if the leads suck, right? That's the predicament that most agents are in, is maybe they're currently working with, Zillow or Boomtown or whatever, and they have leads coming in, but the lead quality sucks, right? Like half the leads are fake emails or fake phone numbers, right? So we need to generate leads that are actually quality, where it's people that are actually responding to your emails, or if you call them, they're actually answering and having phone conversations with you, right? And so we do that in the ad itself, right? there's no such thing as like, oh, just bad leads. It's usually a bad ad, right? So the ad itself that's generating the leads for you determines the quality of the leads coming out of that ad. So with that top 5 neighborhoods report I mentioned, I can give you a specific example of Justin Stewart. He's one of our high-hanging fruit clients. Justin is in College Station, Texas, where A&M is. And so Justin filmed this top 5 neighborhoods video. And that video, because it's a great offer of information, he just thought, hey, what are my top 5 favorite neighborhoods in College Station, right? He didn't say they're the top 5 best neighborhoods, because he didn't want to be accused of steering or anything. So he just said, hey, here's my top 5 favorite neighborhoods. He just picked them totally at random. It's just 5 neighborhoods he liked. He went to each of these neighborhoods and he filmed just a quick 60-second video at each of the neighborhoods. So it's a 5-part video series, right? And so the Facebook ad says, hey, if you want to find out my top 5 favorite neighborhoods here in College Station, go to www.collegestationtop5neighborhoods.com, and they click there, and then it very clearly states, if you want to get the free video series, enter your name and email here, and we'll email you a private link to the video series. So it makes it very clear that, like, hey, if you put a fake email, essentially, like, you won't get to watch it because we're going to email it to you. So you have to put a real email address. And so just to give you an idea of the quality of the leads that we're getting realtors who are using this platform strategy, that email that Justin have, where he sends out the actual top 5 neighborhoods video, has a 90% open rate on the follow-up email. 90% open rate. And he's actually generated 100 leads. So it's not like I'm saying it's a small sample size where, he just has, 8 leads and 7 out of the 8 leads have opened email. He has 100 leads, and over 90 out of the 100 leads have opened the email. So the opener in the email is over 90%. That's basically unheard of in the real estate industry. Most agents, if you're sending out, emails to your existing leads, people who already know you, right, you're probably only getting a 15% or maybe a 20% open rate on your email newsletters. He's getting a 90% open rate to total strangers. That's how powerful this platform strategy is. And the leads that are coming in, by the way, they're coming in for like $1 a piece. So he's not even paying $5 or $4 or $3 for his leads. He's actually getting leads for $1. He spent $100 on this ad, and we brought in 100 leads. So platform is really all about quality over quantity. Right before I tell you guys how to get a free copy of the book, I want to share a quick story with you, like a metaphor, I guess, about fishing upstream. So if I could describe this high-hanging fruit idea or this platform idea in just one metaphor, I think the easiest way to teach it is by fishing upstream, right? So let's say that you and some friends are at a river and you're just like fishing with your buddies, right? And you have all your lines cast in and you're standing like a couple feet away, from each other. And you have your lines cast in, and being you're all standing so close, right, it's essentially a zero-sum game. You're competing for all the same fish, because any fish that your friend catches now a fish that you can't catch. Any fish that they catch, you can't catch, because you're all fishing in the same area, right? So it is really a zero-sum game. For you to win, someone else has to lose, right? For you to get one of the fish, that means that's a fish that everyone else can't catch. What would happen if you went upstream, right? What would happen if you went upstream and you cast your line in 100 feet upstream? What would happen is you would catch all the fish before they ever got downstream to where your friends are, right? If you were standing 100 feet upstream, you would generate all those fish, you would generate all those leads before those leads ever got downstream to where the other realtors are fighting over the low-hanging fruit, right? So with your marketing, we want to fish upstream. We want to generate all those leads really early in the sales cycle when they're still 4 or 5 or 6 months out, before they ever get to the point where they're going on Zillow and they're registering, and now they're getting phone calls from 20 realtors, right? If we can fish upstream, if we can generate those leads when they're 4 or 5 or 6 months away, then we can get the leads. We can, essentially intercept the leads before they ever get to the point where other realtors start calling them. So I call that fishing upstream. We're just shifting our marketing strategy from promoting you to promoting content people actually want. Like, no one's going to go to your website and sign up for your BS, sign up for my newsletter, right? But they might sign up if you're offering a free video series on the top 5 neighborhoods in College Station, right? Or a free book about the ultimate guide to Madison real estate, or a free quiz, right? Like the Madison homeowner quiz. Find out if your home could realistically sell in 30 days or less. Or let's say you're in Tampa, Florida, where there's lots of homes with pools, right? Like the www. Tampa Pool Homes Report, where it's a free list of homes currently for sale in Tampa that have a pool, right? If you're offering something of actual value that people actually want, they'll be more than happy to give you their contact information, right? That's lead generation 101. You're just trading something valuable in exchange for someone's contact information. So I'm going to share with you how to get the book in just a second here, but I want to read this. If you want results you've never had before, you'll have to do things that you've never done before. So here's how you get a copy of the book. Go to highhangingfruitbook.com, okay? It's not highhangingfruit.com. It's go to www.highhangingfruitbook.com, and you can get a free copy of the book. No strings attached. We're not charging you anything for it. You don't have to, pay for shipping, or it's not secretly $1 where we're going to ask you for your credit card or anything like that. It's just no strings attached. You can get a free copy of the book at highhangingfruitbook.com. It is a 200-page book. So I want to show you this video from Becky. The book is really sharing strategies from our platform clients and case studies and stories of specific ads that our platform clients have run using this high-hanging fruit strategy. And I want to share with you more about the platform system and share a couple additional videos of agents sharing how much their business has grown using this platform strategy. So this one is not a typo. I've had a lot of people ask me, is that a typo? Is it supposed to say 1.7 million? No, it's actually 17 million. She added 17 million in sales volume to her pipeline using the platform strategy. So this is Becky. Check out this video if you're skeptical about how powerful this marketing philosophy really is.
Hi, I'm Becky. I became part of the platform in January and became full-time with it about 6 weeks ago. I have my first closing in a few days with the platform lead, and they're downsizing, so I'm actually also listing their home, which is over $1 million listing. So this is just one of the many leads that I have on the platform. I have over $17 million right now in the pipeline from buyers and sellers from now until probably next year, early next year, that are looking. Platform's been the best for me. It's the best, most successful thing that I've seen out there. The guys behind the scenes doing all of the back end things are just amazing. The support is phenomenal. Without them, I would not have the success that I'm having and will have on it. I'm very thankful to be part of the platform family. Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. So I see here that some of you have appointments at 3. So if you want to get a copy of the book, High Hanging Fruit, just www.highhangingfruitbook.com. That's where you can get a free copy of our book. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the actual platform system, because this is what agents are doubling and tripling their GCI with. It's not just one ad, right? It's not just one Facebook ad that works, or it's not just a certain follow-up strategy, or it's not some new magical sales script used for cold calling. Platform is actually the company I founded once I realized that this marketing idea was so powerful. I built an entire company around it where essentially you just hire us to manage all your marketing for you. So if you're interested in hiring Platform just to take over all of this for you, manage all your marketing for you, go to platformmarketmap.com. The reason we set up this website is that we actually only work with one agent per market. So to my knowledge, we're actually the only company in the country that does this. Most other companies out there, whether it's Curator, obviously, or Zillow or Realtor.com or Boomtown, they'll work with dozens and dozens of agents in a market. So even in a smaller town like Charleston, South Carolina, right? Charleston isn't like Los Angeles or New York City or Dallas, right? Charleston only has a couple 100,000 people. It's not 5 million people, right? Even in a smaller market like Charleston, there's dozens of people using Boomtown, dozens of people using Curator. and even more, right, using Realtor.com and buying leads from Zillow. Platform is different. Platform only works with one agent per market. So if you're interested in hiring Platform to manage all your marketing and just do all this for you, where we set up all your Facebook ads, we build your website, we build out all of your landing pages, and we guarantee that you'll be bringing in hundreds of leads a month because we're setting up all the marketing campaigns for you. You don't have to know anything about how Facebook ads work. You don't have to know anything about, you know, software or how to set up the multiple choice quizzes. You don't have to know anything about web programming. We do all that for you, right? If you're interested in hiring Platform to do all this for you, go to platformmarketmap.com and see if your market is available, right? Because we are very strict on this. We only work with one agent per city. So in a city like Charleston, we actually have one client in all of the Charleston area, South Carolina. Charleston and Mount Pleasant, actually, they're basically the same thing, right? His name is John Crumpton, right? So even in a city like that, we're only working with one client. In a city the size of Austin, Texas, we only work with one client. So even, you know, the other systems have, you know, dozens, if not hundreds of, you know, clients using their marketing system in a city like, you know, the size of Austin, Texas. We have one client in all of the greater Austin area. Her name is Danny Steves. And so we're an extremely exclusive service, but that's why our ads work. That's why agents who hire Platform, we're able to consistently double and even triple their GCI, is because we only work with one agent per market. So like, this is not like a fake scarcity thing. I'm not bullshitting you. It's not like a, you know, sales pitch. Like, we seriously only work with one agent per city. That's why Platform works so well. So if you're interested, we're actually going to offer you a trial if you're on this webinar. This isn't something that we normally do. So if you actually go to Platform's website, there's no mention of any trial, right? There's no discount or anything like that. But if you're on this webinar, as a thank you of joining us this afternoon for this training, we're actually going to offer you a trial month of Platform. So the first step is, if you are interested, the very first thing you do before you even schedule, you know, a sales call or anything like that, just go to www.platformmarketmap.com and see if your market is even available. Because obviously, if we already have a realtor that we're working with in your city, like, we can't work with you because we're really, really strict on that. So platformmarketmap.com. I want to share this video with you. This is Danny Springfield. She's a client that's been working with us since last summer. And we've actually added well over $5 million in sales. It actually might even be $6 or $7 million in sales volume to her business in the last year. She's making so much more money now that her husband actually quit his engineering job, where he was, you know, obviously making pretty good money as an engineer. He quit his engineering job to join her team so he can spend more time working with her. That's how well Platform is working with her. It's totally changed her quality of life. Her quality of life for her family. She gets to spend more time with her kids now. This is just one story out of many where Platform has totally transformed a client's business. So I want to share this quick video with you of the difference that Platform made for Danny Springfield. She's in San Antonio, Texas. And if you're interested, again, the first step is just go to platformmarketmap.com and see if your city is still available for Platform.
Hi, I'm Danny Springfield in San Antonio. My Platform story starts, I've been in business and real estate for about 5 years. When I signed up, I was plateauing at about 13 to 15 million a year. I had another agent on board with me, but I knew that we could get a little bigger and do a little better. Most importantly, I wanted to do that in a scaled fashion. So signing up with Platform enabled me to build my business to about $20 million a year. But where I'm spending more time, I have 3 little kids, where I'm spending more time with them. My husband actually left his engineering job to join my team. And that has been such a godsend for our family. Our quality of life has increased dramatically. And we owe a lot of that to Platform. The biggest change has been the quality of leads. So you're not spending all your time chasing ones that aren't very good. And maybe even most importantly for me, has been that Platform, it gets me in front of my sphere for referral business so easily with very little effort on my part. So I'm a happy client. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And I'm really just thankful to be part of the Platform family. Thanks.
Awesome. So again, this is one stories of many where we've just really, really grown a client's business. You know, we didn't add a couple transactions to, you know, Danny's business. We've added dozens and dozens of extra transactions to her business so that she's actually been able to build a team and step away a little bit from the business where she's making way more money and actually working less. So again, we only work with one agent per city. So if you're interested, go to platformmarketmap.com. And if your city is available, you know, then we can give you more information about that trial month where you can try platform for a month. So if your city is available though, we do only work with one client per market. So we have about 100 clients around the country right now. So it's not huge, right? Platform is a pretty exclusive marketing agency. We're not, you know, we're not working with tens of thousands of realtors or even thousands of realtors. We have about 100 clients around the country right now. So plenty of cities are still available. Obviously, there's a lot more than 100 cities in the United States. So chances are your market is still available, but it is possible that it's not. So that's why before we even do any, you know, thing further, like, you know, schedule a phone call with you or anything like that, the first step is just finding out, hey, if I'm interested in this platform strategy, is my city still available? You know, or do we already have a client in your market? So to find that out, it'll take you literally 5 seconds. Just go to www.platformmarketmap.com and see if your market is still available for platform or if we already have a client in your area. So here's another cool story. Paul's going to talk about that. Hey, he's not only generating new buyer leads with Platform to Grow His Business, he's actually generating listing leads. Most online, you know, realtor marketing systems, whether it's Boomtown, Commissions Inc., you know, whatever, Curator, like buyer leads are pretty easy to get, right? What's hard to get is seller leads. And we've cracked the code on how to get listing leads for our clients and platform, again, using these really targeted, intelligent Facebook ads. So here's a story. This is Paul. He's in like the Jacksonville, Florida market. Paul talking about how platform is helping him get a steady stream of listing leads.
Good afternoon. Paul Wilson with Paul Wilson Properties, Remax Unlimited in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. I was asked to give a short testimonial as to the success I'm currently having with Platform. It's been a few months now that I've been using the system and really implementing it into my daily routine. Since doing so, I'm on track to close a year, approximately 50,000 GCI greater than the previous 2 years. Most of my business since starting in 2000 has been basically referral driven, not really used much of the lead generation sites. So this has been a really new venture for me, and it's been absolutely amazing and wonderful. I have received over close to 250 potential prospects in my pipeline currently. But from the advertising and the videos, I've recently just secured a commercial listing and 2 other residential listings simply from people that have seen my video and have reached out to me personally. I highly recommend Platform. I meet with a marketing person weekly that has been absolutely tremendous and uplifting and keeping me motivated and structured to achieve.
And so what he's talking about there is actually once you join the Platform family, we have a weekly one-on-one coaching call with you every single week. It's not a group call. It's not, you know, one of those conference calls or hangouts where you're online with, you know, like 50 other agents. It's a one-on-one personal coaching call every week that we do with our clients to make sure that you're, you know, saying the right things when you follow up with leads. We coach you on lead follow-up and conversion strategies, and we always stay in touch. We get to, you know, personally know our clients because we're talking with you one-on-one on the phone every week. So when you join the Platform family, like we actually get to know you. That's why we call it the Platform family. You know, it's not like other systems out there, like, you know, the big companies I named where they probably have thousands or tens of thousands of clients around the country. We only have 100. So we actually know all of our clients, and it's why we get them such great results. So that's what Paul's talking about, is we do a weekly one-on-one personal coaching call with all of our clients.
Highly recommend Platform. I meet with a marketing person weekly that has been absolutely tremendous and uplifting and keeping me motivated and structured to achieve success. I look forward to many years with Platform, and hopefully next year I will see double to triple my GCI from the previous 17 years. Well, consistent years. So thank you for watching and have a great day. And if you are considering Platform, I highly recommend giving them a chance. Also, if you'd ever like to reach out to me, to speak to me, please feel free to. Have a great day.
Awesome. So again, that was Paul. He's in Jacksonville. If you're interested, just go to www.platformmarketmap.com. You can get more info. What we do at Platform, if I could list it out for you, is we set up all your Facebook ads. We set up all your landing pages. We split test your Facebook ads. We split test your landing pages to make sure that we're always getting you the highest conversion rates possible. We send follow-up emails to your leads, follow-up text messages. And again, we manage all this for you, right? So you don't have to know anything about Facebook ads or Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing or anything like that. We manage all the ad campaigns for you so that you can just focus on being a realtor, right? Actually going on listing appointments, showing houses to your buyers, being a realtor. That's how we're able to double people's business, because when we free up their time so that they don't have to spend, all this time, trying to figure out how Facebook ads work or try to figure out how to build a good landing page. We free up their time so they just follow up with all the warm leads coming in. That's what results in doubling your business, doubling your GCI. So it works quickly too. I know what you guys are probably thinking right now is like, okay, this high-hanging fruit strategy, Tim told me a lot of the leads are 6 months out or 5 months out. Like, how quickly does it actually start working, right? Well, the answer is it works right away. Leads will start coming in right away. We have these ads so dialed in because we only work with 100 clients around the country, right? So it means that we already have ads that work, that we just basically paste them into your market, and we're running it from your Facebook page, obviously, with your logo and your contact info and all that on there. But we already know word for word what Facebook ads work, and we guard those ads. We don't share them and publish them with other people because that's the secret sauce, right? And so the ads work right away from day one. It doesn't take us 2 or 3 months to like dial it in or whatever. We already know that these specific Facebook ads that we have work because we've literally spent over $1 million testing these ads, right? So it works right away. You will see results right away within the first couple weeks. It's not something that takes, a couple months to get rolling or a couple months to get dialed in. It works right away, right from the get-go. We even have some people that are getting leads under contract in the very first month that they're using Platform. Like, they generated the lead, they set an appointment, they went on showings, or they went on a listing appointment, they already have a lead under contract in the first month. So if you're wondering, like, hey, yeah, this sounds great, but like realistically, how quickly does it actually start working? Here's your answer.
Hey guys, Jeff Downing here. I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. As you can see, the corn's growing right behind me, so I am definitely in Iowa. Just hit my 30-day anniversary with Platform, and I want to share with you some of my successes. First campaign, first night it's going, and wake up, my phone's got a full contact lead. Name, number, address, and then down at the bottom, the most beautiful thing in the world, says, yeah, I'm looking to buy a house in the next 90 days. We were able to get their home listed and get them upgraded in house. Both those houses went pending just last weekend, which is about $14,000 in GCI off my first day in my first month here in Platform. Also had a call, hey, love your video. We're looking to sell our house and upgrade. So just last night was on a listing appointment for $425,000. That's not that bad. I would not.
So again, notice that people using Platform are getting listings too. It's not just a bunch of crap buyer leads, that are first-time home buyers that have bad credit and that need down payment assistance, right? It's quality listing leads, sellers too. So Platform has really cracked the code on not just getting you buyer leads, but getting listing leads too.
Had a call.
Oops, let me go back there so I can show you again. Listing leads. Listen to what he says here about getting actual listings.
Houses went pending just last weekend, which is about $14,000 in GCI off my first day in my first month here in Platform. Also had a call. Hey, love your video. We're looking to sell our house and upgrade. So just last night was on a listing appointment.
By the way, notice he said love your video. The lead called him and said, hey, we love your video. That's because we run these video retargeting ads that I mentioned earlier with the market update strategy of filming market update videos. We use these market update videos to retarget your leads to keep you top of mind. What happens is they feel like they kind of, they feel like they're getting to know you, right? Even though all they've done is seen your videos, they feel like by watching your videos, they feel like they know you, so that when they're actually ready to call an agent or have you over, for a listing appointment, they only call you. They're not calling 4 or 5 other agents on listing appointments. They only call you. So that's what he's talking about here.
Also had a call. Hey, love your video. We're looking to sell our house and upgrade. So just last night was on a listing appointment for $425,000. That's an at-bat I would not have had without Platform. I've also added literally hundreds of contacts into my drip campaign.
Again, if you're interested in more information, just go to platformmarketmap.com.
Campaigns and into my SOI. So that's been really, really cool. Finally, I love talking to my account administrator once a week. David, if you're out there, man, you're the best. Love chatting with him every Monday. We can look at the effectiveness of the ads, my ad spend, and he's also helped me with scripts, when to call back, what to say, email returns. Just get rejuvenated to start the week after talking with David every Monday.
So again, he's talking about that one-on-one personal coaching call. All of our clients speak with us one-on-one every week. It's not a group coaching call. It's a one-on-one call with us every single week. And that's a huge part of why, realtors that join the Platform family are successful, is that we coach them so that they can't not be successful.
So that's been my experience with Platform. If you want to know more, please look me up.
Awesome. That was Jeff Downing. If you want to look him up, Jeff is with he's with Keller Williams in Des Moines, Iowa. So again, I know I've said it 100 times, but the first step, before you schedule a sales call or before we send you more information or whatever about how Platform works, just go to platformmarketmap.com and see if your market is available. Platform is a marketing agency, right? So the cool thing is, we don't have contracts. I know that that's usually the one thing on people's mind is, hey, this sounds cool. It sounds like you're getting, pretty good results for your clients, but am I locked into a 12-month contract or am I locked into a 6-month contract? Like, what if it doesn't work, right? What if it doesn't work and I'm locked into this contract? Well, good news. We don't have any contracts. It's totally month to month. You're not even locked in for 2 months. So you could sign up and technically quit the first month, right? You could quit during the trial, right? We have no contracts whatsoever. This is really like a philosophical decision for me as the founder of the company, because I think if we're a marketing company, Platform's a marketing company, like what does that say about our confidence in our product if we feel the need to lock customers in to a contract? Because if my promise to you, which it is, my promise to you is that your business is going to grow rapidly when you hire a Platform to manage all your marketing for you. If that's my promise and I feel like I have to lock you into, a 6-month contract or lock you into a 12-month contract, that doesn't really mean that I'm very confident that it's going to work, right? Because if it's actually working, I wouldn't need to lock you into a contract because it works, right? And you'd be happy with it. So that being said, Platform has no contracts, none whatsoever. So no contracts, no risk. And if you're on this webinar and you sign up, we're actually going to offer you a special discounted rate of a trial month. You can sign up. And again, no contracts, no risk. So it's not a 6-month contract. We don't even have a 90-day contract, just no contracts whatsoever. Here's a story from Justin. He's in actually a resort town. So I know there's some people wonder like, well, will this work in my market? Because I have a lot of people that are out of town buyers, it's like resort type, second homes, vacation homes. Will this work in my market? Justin's on pace to more than double his GCI this year, hiring Platform, and he's in kind of a weird market like that. So here's a story just to illustrate that Platform can pretty much work in any sort of market, really honestly at any price point, as long as you follow the Platform strategy.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Liller with Rayleigh Realty at Deep Creek Lake, and I want to share my experience so far since joining Platform. Back in January, I flew down and met with Tim, and he showed me kind of the basics of Platform, which I implemented right away and saw some pretty good success with. So at the end of May, I became a full Platform family member. So it's been a little more than 30 days, maybe 40 days since I joined Platform, and I've seen some really incredible success. I'm picking up between 4 and 6 full contact information leads per day off of the ads that I run on Facebook. I can directly relate 3 listings back to my platform ads that I've been running. They range anywhere from $150,000 to $800,000. I have had 2 closings from that, $175,000 closing and another at $850,000. And then I have a property under contract with some folks that opted into one of my ads at $1,550,000. So, you know, it's an incredible, incredible value that they offer at Platform. The return on investment is going to be absolutely huge. And I could not recommend joining Platform anymore. Like it has been by far the best business decision that I have ever made. So
That's a pretty cool statement. I don't want to gloss over that. I mean, Justin's been in the business for a while, and for someone to say that, that just says how powerful Platform strategy is. He said hiring Platform was the best business decision he's ever made.
One investment is going to be absolutely huge. And I could not recommend joining Platform anymore. Like it has been by far the best business decision that I have ever made. So I've been implementing the Platform strategy since January, but only been a full Platform member since the end of May. And as of last Friday, I had 2 closings last Friday. As of last Friday, for 2017, I've already exceeded my GCI that I had in 2016. So I have no doubt that this is going to become my best year ever. And I think that, you know, if you follow the strategies that they talk about, it could be anybody's best year ever. You've got to film the videos, you've got to do the follow-up, and the buyers and listings will come. You know, it's been incredible. Over the holiday weekend, I had 5 people walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're that guy from the Facebook ads, the videos. I watch all your home tours. I love it." And, you know, it's that kind of stuff that.
So that's what's cool, is that people will actually be stopping you in real life and be like, "Hey, you're the guy from Facebook. You're the guy from all those videos," because you film, you know, the video tours and you film the market update videos, and Platform even does all your video editing. I think that's something I forgot to tell you. When you join the Platform family and you hire Platform, we're not just going to set up your websites. We're not just going to set up all your Facebook ad campaigns. Platform will edit all of your videos for you. So whenever you film like a listing video tour of one of your listings, or you film a market update video, or maybe you go out and you film that top 5 neighborhoods video I talked about, that's an ad that works really well. Just send us the footage and we will edit all your videos for you. We will make it look like a professional video. I actually have a small team here at Platform of like professional video producers where, you know, prior to their career at Platform, they worked full-time in the video production industry. So we will edit all of your videos for you. Such as another benefit of joining the Platform family is, you know, in addition to all, you know, the Facebook marketing and, you know, managing all your ad campaigns, we will edit all of your videos for you. And when you have all these videos going as retargeting ads, people around town will start recognizing your face. And you start to kind of become like a local celebrity in your market.
Maybe doesn't show up in your GCI right away, but over time it will, because people are gonna, you know, when they're ready to buy, they're only gonna think of you because you've built that trust and you've given them something to watch while they're bored at work or sitting at home, and they absolutely love it. So anyway, I can't thank Platform enough. I couldn't be happier. And if you're on the fence about this, just do it. You're not gonna regret it. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. So again, if you're interested in, you know, signing up, you know, and taking advantage of that discounted trial month, you don't even have to schedule a sales call. So like that's not the first step. Honestly, the first thing that we want you to do is just find out if your market is still available. So you can do that by going to Platform Market Map. Takes you seriously 5 seconds. Go to platformmarketmap.com just for us to verify that your market is available and we don't already, you know, have a client in your area. And again, here's another video where, you know, you're probably thinking, I know there's still like, you know, a couple dozen people watching this webinar right now that haven't signed up. I know the reason that you haven't checked if your market is available, that, you know, the only reason you haven't gone to platformmarketmap.com is that you're like, yeah, this sounds great, but I'm still a little skeptical. I'm not sure if I believe you that it actually works that quickly, right? Because I can't do something that, you know, is going to take 6 months to work, right? I need to do something that'll work right away because I want, you know, some listings and buyers that'll still close in 2017, right? Here's another video of a client of ours. This is actually Tammy. She's in Louisiana, and she shares how many leads that she generated and converted in her first 30 days. Tammy's a really experienced realtor, by the way. Tammy has used everything from Commissions Inc., Boomtown. She used Curator. You know, obviously the big companies, like, you know, she's bought leads from Realtor and Zillow, but she's used pretty much every other marketing company out there. And she says in this video that Platform is the best marketing system in terms of generating leads that she's ever used. So that to me is a pretty powerful testimonial that she's used basically all the other marketing companies. And then she finally found Platform on one of these webinars. And she said, Platform is by far the best one I've ever used. But here's a video where Tammy says that, and this is all the results, keep in mind, that she experienced in her first 30 days using Platform.
Hey y'all, it's Tammy Montgomery. I just wanted to give you a quick update of what's been going on with my platform. I have been on there for about 30 days, and I'm in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana. And from our healthcare ad, we have 2 pending buyers.
The healthcare ad, that's a cool ad that we run where we actually target doctors and nurses in your area. And the ad itself on Facebook doesn't have a picture of, you know, of a house like most real estate ads do. We create this ad specifically for doctors and nurses that are working at like local hospitals, you know, or clinics in your area. And we're only running the ad to them. So it's a super micro niche targeted ad that Platform sets up for you, where even the Facebook ad itself actually has a picture of like a nurse in her scrubs, right? Like, we don't want it to look like a normal realtor ad. And it works just insanely well. So we offer basically free information about buying a home, but we're targeting it, again, specifically to doctors and nurses in your area. So all the leads coming in are healthcare professionals. You know, doctors and nurses typically make a lot of money, so they have money to spend on a house. They're definitely going to qualify, you know, for a mortgage, and they're going to have, you know, like more often than not, more money to, you know, to spend on a house than the average person. So this is one of my favorite ads, the healthcare ad that she's mentioning, because it's so niche and it's so targeted. It works just incredibly well. So if you notice there, she said her healthcare ad has actually generated 2 pending buyers in her very first month using Platform.
Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana. And from our healthcare ad, we have 2 pending buyers, and then I got a listing that's going to be a buyer. So that's 4 deals right there in 30 days that I'll have off the healthcare ad. And then off of the VA list, we have 1 pending buyer. So if you calculate the return on investment, and I have been on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Commissions Inc., Tiger Lead, I think I've done them all, and Curator, and Platform is by far the best return on my investment. And if y'all need to reach out to me directly, you can find me on Facebook at Tammy Montgomery Real Estate Experts.
So I'm not sure if you heard her say that. She's tried everything else, and Platform is still the best system that she's ever used. So again, if you want to see if your market is still available, that's the first step. You don't need to like schedule a sales call with us or, you know, or anything like that. Just see if your market is available. Platformmarketmap.com.
Return on investment, and I have been on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Commissions Inc., Tiger Lead. I think I've done them all, and Curator, and Platform is by far the best return on my investment. And if y'all need to reach out to me directly, you can find me on Facebook at Tammy Montgomery Real Estate Experts, or feel free to call me at 318-540-6108. Thank y'all.
Awesome. So again, platformmarketmap.com. It works right away in the first month. That's the biggest thing that I think is almost kind of like a scam about a lot of other marketing companies, is that they say, oh, give it, you know, 3 or 4 months to work, or give it 5 or 6 months to work. And really the only reason that they're saying that is that they want you to stick for 5 or 6 months as a client. So if they can basically keep lying to you and telling you, hey, it takes 5 or 6 months to work, you'll hopefully stay for 5 or 6 months, and they can keep charging your credit card, right? I'm telling you that any marketing company that tells you that is full of crap. Any marketing system that's meant to generate leads should work in the first month. Because I know the Platform does, right? So Platform doesn't take 90 days to start working, or it doesn't take 6 months to start working. You'll have well over 100 leads come in your very first month. And not even the first month, but you'll have over 100 leads come in the first 2 weeks with Platform. So it works right away. So if you want to take your business to the next level, join this family of realtors around the country that's, consistently doubling their GCI. Some agents are even tripling. We have a couple who've quadrupled their GCI. Go to platformmarketmap.com. That's the first step, is just to sign up there. It takes literally 5 seconds. Like, you could have done it by now on the slide. It takes 5 seconds. Go to platformmarketmap.com to see if your city is still available, or if we already have a client in your area. Here's another story of someone who added. I mean, like, we have so many of these stories, guys. I'm not just cherry picking a couple examples where Platform actually worked for someone, and for the vast majority of them, it didn't work. No, like, it consistently works for everyone who joins the Platform family. Here's another story of a realtor. Like, this one's in Hawaii. So I've tried to share with you as many different examples as possible, so that you realize that the Platform strategy works in all different sorts of markets: big cities, small towns, suburbs, everything in between, right? This guy here is actually in Hawaii, but I've showed you videos of people in Iowa, in Louisiana, in Florida, in Texas, in Minnesota, in Colorado. It works all over the country. Here's yet another story of someone who's added over 100 grand to his personal income thanks to using Platform.
Hey guys, it's Micah Grafskar from Hawaii Life Real Estate Brokers. I've been on Platform for about 3 months. I've got a little over 550 leads. It's just going great so far. I've tweaked some of the auto emails a little bit just to be more effective, since I have so many leads coming in, and I can only see good things in the future. Currently, I've got 2 buyers in escrow and 1 listing, in total worth $1.6 million. And then I've also got 6 pre-approved buyers that I'm working with that can go up to around $4 million. And the island that I'm on, of Oahu, is quite expensive, so I have no doubt that we'll get to around that $4 million mark. So I just got done finishing my market update video. These have been really successful for me so far. When you come and visit me, I'll take you over here. So comment on this video if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, aloha.
So again, notice that he has food in front of him, because he said he just finished filming his market update video. Those are those local videos I say that we have our clients film at restaurants, and we use those in the retargeting video ads on Facebook. Keep in mind, we edit all of our clients' videos. So it's not like they have to film it and then go hire someone else or pay someone else to edit it. We edit all their videos for them as part of their Platform membership. So to join the Platform family, the first step, again, you don't even have to schedule a sales call with us. The first step is just go to www.platformmarketmap.com and just see if your market is still available, right? Just see if your market is still available. So platformmarketmap.com. Here's a quick map of some markets that we know are already taken. I mean, I could zoom in more and you'd see a couple more. I mean, it's kind of a zoomed out map, so I could actually show the entire United States, obviously. But we only have about 100 clients right now around the country. We only have 100. So it's not like we have 500 clients, or it's not like we have 1,000 clients. So there's probably a really good chance your city is still available, because we only have 100 in the entire United States that we're working with. But still, we do want you to go to platformmarketmap.com just to make sure that before before we send you any informational packet, or before you schedule a sales call or anything like that, that your market is actually still available and we don't already have a client there. We are really strict on this. It's not something we make exceptions for. We only work with 1 agent per city. That's why our clients are so successful. So here's even another example of a realtor who doubled his business using Platform. Actually, in 1 month this summer, he made over 40 grand in GCI. The cool thing is, this is Justin. He used to be a firefighter paramedic. And so he used to make basically 40 grand an entire year. And in 1 month this year, he made $40,000 in GCI specifically from Platform leads, specifically from leads that Platform generated for him. So that's awesome. I mean, he came from a very blue collar, working class background, and now Platform has grown his business to the point that it's just totally changed the quality of life for him and his family. His family's never made that kind of money before. And I'm just really excited about stories like this because it goes beyond just business. It's just cool seeing someone, you know, move up and kind of experience the American dream like that, where, you know, he was used to making his whole life maybe $3,000 or $4,000, you know, dollars a month, and now he had a month, you know, thanks to, you know, implementing this platform strategy, he had a month where he made 40 grand in 1 month. So here's Justin's story of what he experienced once he joined the platform family.
Hey, it's Justin Stewart. I'm a realtor in Texas, and here's how I've doubled my business in 2017. About a year ago, I heard of a company called Platform. Platform is a digital marketing agency that specifically focuses on Facebook advertising. Now, when I originally found Platform, I had no idea what real Facebook advertising was all about. I had no idea what A/B testing was and CPM and all those other terms, but I did know what GCI was, and I knew that the results that the Platform clients were having at the time was nothing short of amazing. It's something that I had to know more about. So I spoke to Tim and spoke to some of the other Platform clients, and after doing so, I realized that this was something that I had to be part of. So I joined up with them, and my results have been nothing short of amazing as well. And I'm incredibly thankful for Platform, what they've done for me, what they've done for my family and my business. And to give you a little peek into what my experience has been thus far, next month I actually have almost $40,000 in gross commission income set to close from Platform alone.
It's awesome. I mean, that story is just super cool. So platformmarketmap.com. Here's another video of actually a brand new realtor. This guy was literally a brand new real estate agent, just licensed, when he decided to take the risk and join Platform. So I'm only going to show you part of this video because this one's actually a little bit long, but here's what he experienced in just his first couple weeks with Platform. So yeah, I think he filmed this video when he'd only been in Platform for a couple weeks.
Hey, my name is Rodney Michael, and I'm an agent here in Wichita, Kansas, working with Platinum Realty, and I want to tell you about my first month working with Platform. Actually, I've only been with them for about 3 weeks, but it's been an incredible 3 weeks. They've produced 160 contacts for me, or leads for me, that have turned into 60 conversations, and of those 60 conversations, I have about $1.5 million in potential contracts right now, just sitting there ready to go, and within the next year. So in the next 12 months. And when I first sat down and talked with Tim about what Platform could provide, you know, I just wanted a legitimate lead source because that's what every agent wants. And when he told me how the approach works at Platform, I was sold right away, and the proof is in the fruit that it's produced already. And I couldn't be more happy with them. I'm excited to see how the rest of this month pans out, and I have no doubt that it's going to continue as well as it has now. And one of the things that I love about Platform is their forward-thinking mentality in terms of lead generation. They're always asking this question, and I think it's really valuable. How do we make things better? And that's exactly what they're doing, is asking that question every day.
So he's since he has clients under contract, he has I think he actually not hundreds. He has like 1,000 leads in his CRM, and he's only been with Platform for I think a total of 4 months now. So he's actually averaging like 250 leads a month. So that's amazing. I'm gonna skip ahead a couple of leads because there's one more. There's a video I want to show you. This is Brandon. He's in the Denver area. He actually gives you a behind the scenes tour of his office. You can actually see his office, and you'll see his whiteboard where he shows all the high hanging fruit and all the business he's closing specifically from leads that Platform has got for him. And the whiteboard doesn't lie, right? The whiteboard in his office shows how much money he's going to make this year specifically from Platform. So again, as you watch this video, just remember, if you want to find out if Platform is available in your market, it's just www.platformmarketmap.com.
First introduced the whole online lead platform system, I was skeptical. Now, a year later, we're closing 40 deals in 2016. This is all due to the online marketing platform. For example, we have our buyers meet us in this building, which gives us instant credibility. Because when you meet somebody on the internet, you never know if they're real or not. So when you come to a building like this, people come in here, they want to work with you, they realize you're real, and then you sign them up as a client. Come with me to the office. For example, we are closing 11 deals in June alone, totaling over $4.5 million. That is an incredible number. About half of that came directly from the platform.
So I think he said 11 deals in June alone, over $4 million. I mean, that's over $100,000 in commission in 1 month. In 1 month.
$1 million. That is an incredible number, and about half of that came directly from the platform system. Now over here is the stuff you can't fake. This is our pipeline. This is ready buyers who've been pre-approved. They want to go searching, they want to go shopping, and they want to buy a home. 50% of these guys are all coming from our platform system, and it's proven the high-hanging fruit mentality, the system, the platform leads, it really does work, and it's real.
So again, that's Brandon. He's in the Denver area, and he did over 40 closings last year just from platform. Like just from platform leads, 40 closings. So that's over 3 a month from platform every single month closings that he's getting. And he's in a market where the average commission check is actually about $10,000. So he's making a lot of money from the platform marketing system. So I wanted to skip towards the end and show you a video at the very end here. This is the last video that I want to show you guys. It's actually a video of an agent. It's an agent in Minnesota, and she was basically broke before she hired Platform. She was actually about to leave real estate entirely. She was actually searching for jobs. And I mean, she wasn't making any money as a realtor. She had been a realtor for over 20 years, but after the last, housing bust, like the recession, her business slowed down so much that she couldn't pay her bills. And she was, literally applying for other jobs. She was going to quit being a realtor, just, leave the industry entirely. And she got connected with us, decided to hire Platform, basically took the last money she had and decided to hire Platform. And a couple of years later, she's doing so well now that she's been able to buy a brand new car. She's been able to actually invest in a new lake home because her business has grown so much. So this is probably my all-time favorite video. It's my all-time favorite testimonial video the Platform has of a client because, like, this is Debbie. Debbie wasn't just doing, pretty good and then we helped her do better. She was straight up broke when she came to us, and she gave us her last money she had, and she trusted us with it. And we totally turned her business around. I mean, honestly, we turned her life around. The very first listing that she hired us to help us promote was actually her own house that she was selling because she was getting kicked out of her house by the bank. I know that sounds like dramatic, but it's totally true. Her first listing that we helped her market and promote with Facebook ads was her own house because she was losing her own house and had to sell her own house. So it's just a crazy cool, I guess, like rags to riches story, right? Of someone who was just really struggling financially, and they invested, and she joined Platform, and now she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. She just bought a brand new Jeep. She just bought a $500,000 lake home. And life is good. So this is the final video that I'll show you today. This is what's possible. This is what's possible if you really embrace the possibility of high-hanging fruit and the Platform strategy.
Okay, so I love this car. I've always wanted a Jeep Rubicon, always. Never thought I'd be able to get one, especially that I could just write out a check for, actually. But I was in Platform for about 6 months when my other car actually blew up, and I just kind of thought, what am I doing? I can afford what I want. So drove onto the lot with that wreck and drove off with this Rubicon with only 6 miles on it, which was a fantastic day.
So I want you to meet Debbie Kaler. The Platform strategy literally rescued her career. After the housing market crashed, she was struggling to make a living. Now she's driving a brand new car, bought a new lake home, and business is better than ever. Her story is just incredible. So I'll let her share the details. This is the power of the Platform strategy.
Hi, I'm Debbie Kaler. I'm a realtor in a very small town in west central Minnesota. Population just which is a little over 2,000. So it's a tough market. We have a lot of agents around here. In fact, I would say,
if you're still watching, I hope you heard what Debbie just said there. She's in a town that literally has 2,000 people in it. So in a town of 2,000 people, her entire county, I think, only has like 30,000 people, right? So Debbie's entire county, like a 25-mile radius around here only has 30,000 people. And she's actually on pace this year to do 70 transactions this year, thanks to Platform.
We are saturated because everybody, for some reason, thinks that real estate is the fast, easy money, easiest thing you can get into. So I got into real estate in 1990 and always did pretty well, probably in the top 10, 15. And then the market crashed. And being a single person, that was tough. I ended up losing my house, my car, pawned all my jewelry. I literally had nothing left other than the clothes on my back.
So, as I said, Debbie's story is one of the coolest Platform stories I've ever heard. After 20 years in the business, things were so slow, she was about to quit real estate entirely and find a new career. She was applying for jobs around the country, just trying to find something to pay the bills. And then she discovered Platform.
So thinking, this is it, I have to get out of real estate permanently, even though I loved it. They found out my story and they said, you know, we have this young guy that does marketing for us, you should give him a try. So I was desperate and I decided, all right, I'm going to meet him. It turns out his name is Tim Schirmack. And he came over and talked to me and started telling me about Platform, and I thought, this is entirely too good to be true. There's no way anything is that good that's going to take me from about being homeless, literally homeless, to actually being able to stay in this business and make it. But humor me, I'll listen to him. So I meet him. He gave me the good sales pitch. Out of frustration, I hired him. And only because that day in the mail, the very last check had come from my retirement account. Very last check. And I knew it wasn't going to carry me through anyway, so what's the big deal? I might as well gamble. I threw it at him and said, all right, big talker, you think you can do this? Do it. I bet it was 3 weeks later, leads started to come in like crazy, and they started rolling in. I'm not kidding. And pretty soon I didn't have time for that other job I took. I was back into real estate. And here we are 2.5 years later, and I went from number 47 in my association up to number 2.
So Debbie went from having no money, literally losing her home, to being the number 2 agent in her entire association. I love this story. It's such an authentic example of the power of Platform. The entire community noticed how quickly Debbie built her brand. Remember, building your business is as simple as building a list of people who trust you. Not just a database, but a list of people who trust you.
So one of the fun things with Platform was I had so many friends say, you know, when the market crashed, we thought you were done. That was it. We thought your business was going under, that you were done, no more, Debbie. And it's like you came back with a vengeance. All of a sudden we see videos all over the place and your signs are going up all over the place. And now you're really showing other people how it's done. I actually had a couple of my competing agencies come and try to recruit me with their company. To which it's like, no, I turned them down. I mean, they're like, don't you want to work for, and then they'd say their name because they're bigger names in the area. I don't have a big name. You know, Lakes Area Realty, Debbie Kaler Real Estate. You know, I don't have the big banners, the big balloons, anything like that. And it's like, you know what? I don't need you. I'm doing fine on my own. They didn't like that very well, but I've pretty much buried most of them, which is a great feeling. And it's all because of Platform. I went from, said, bottom of the barrel, thinking that I was going under, to a place I never thought I would be. And it's because of the marketing. And that happened rather quickly. Actually, I would say within 3 months, people started to make comments about, wow, you came back strong. And by 6 months, it was, wow.
Amazing. So let's take a behind-the-scenes look at Debbie's office and get a feel for what her daily routine looks like when the leads are flowing in.
So I just want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what Platform has done for me. Just in this last week, I've gotten 3 pages of leads. The ones that are crossed off are the ones that I've actually come in contact with, I've had phone conversations with, or even met them for coffee. I've got 2 listing appointments out of it so far, and for sure 1 buyer, probably 2, maybe even 3. So it's been great that way. It keeps me busy. It keeps me in contact with people. But I really want to show you personally what it's done for me. So my dream car was always a Jeep Rubicon. And after working with Platform for, I don't know, about 6 months, I was finally able to get one. Brand new, right off the lot. And it only had 6 miles on it. So it was glorious. Working with Platform and really working the program, if you work it, it works. So if you've been in it and say that it doesn't work, it's only because you're not doing anything with it. I have proof, because what I'm going to show you is the property I was able to buy, and it may not be huge, but it is on a premier lake. It's on Green Lake, which used to be the 2nd purest lake in the world. It's completely renovated. I can't wait to show it to you. So, you know, we're going to go there right now and take a look.
You know, I'm reminded of that classic quote from Zig Ziglar. You can have whatever you want in life if you'll just help other people get what they want. This is the very essence of the platform strategy. Just serve people. Before you ever ask for anything, provide value. Be the most helpful real estate agent in your market. As you'll see, it worked for Debbie, and it can work for you too.
I paid plenty for it just because it is where it is. But it is a Frank Lloyd Wright house, which does mean something, so I wanted to keep his design. And that's another reason I renovated what was there instead of tearing it down. It is a $500,000 house in a community where everything, you know, the average price is $150,000. So it's an accomplishment. I never thought I would be able to do that. So we're almost at my humble cottage. So not only was I able to buy this new car, but Platform also allowed me to buy my new lake home.
So this is cool. She actually walks into her lake home that she purchased and gives you just a quick tour of, she totally updated the kitchen, basically did a full reno of the house, and shows you the view of the lake from the backyard. I mean, it's a $500,000 lake home. And just a year before, Debbie was, I mean, at the point where she was basically homeless, she was losing her home. And now she has a brand new car, brand new $500,000 lake home. Like, that's the difference that Platform has made. Again, not just to her business, but to her life. I mean, it's just really cool.
So this is the lake home that I bought, and I was able to renovate the whole thing. What we're standing in was actually just a skirting porch. Going into the kitchen, I was able to put in all new countertops, new flooring, all new appliances, took out some walls, added some windows, opened up the living room. This was a couple tiny rooms before. But what I love about this place is this epic view of Green Lake, and thanks to Platform, I get to enjoy it every day.
Awesome. If you're wondering, by the way, that's a clip from the Platform documentary that we produced. We actually paid a documentary film crew last year to fly around the country and interview some of our clients and kind of get their behind-the-scenes stories of the impact that Platform made on their business. So that's from the Platform documentary. For more information or to watch that documentary for free, you can actually go to platformrealestate.com and you can watch that documentary for free. But for now, if you're interested in Platform, again, it's probably the 247th time I've said this on the webinar. just go to platformmarketmap.com and we'll let you know if your market is still available. www.platformmarketmap.com, and you can see if we already have a client in your area. If we don't, then good news for you. You can sign up and take advantage of a discounted trial month for Platform. The last thing I'll leave you with is that Platform doesn't have any contracts whatsoever. So it's not a 12-month contract. It's not a 6-month contract. We have no contracts whatsoever. So no contracts, no risk. To get more information, just go to platformmarketmap.com and we'll let you know. I want to thank you for showing. I'll Mitch email you a couple phone emails afterwards, and he can share with you some more examples, some more case studies of like some of the ads that we're running for clients. You guys can see a little bit more of the specifics of what Platform is all about. So check your email. I'll have Mitch email that to you this evening. So thank you for joining us for the webinar, and look forward to hopefully hearing from you soon.